welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another broadcast here. We just wrapped up with the Elima League number 231. We just wrapped up that broadcast, and now we are back with our fourth broadcast of the night. We had Fire Cup Group A this morning, followed by the KSL, followed by Elima League, and now we are back to wrap it all up with Fire Cup Group B. Let's go. I'm of course your live VIP, and with me I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. And we are jumping to our first series of the night. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Terran player for the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicaract. Oh no, and spawning. He heard us, Pappy. Spawning in the top left hand corner, we have, he used to be young, he used to be vibrant, he used to be full of energy and full of hope, but now the smudge is real. He was once known as young Yakov, but now he is old Yakov. Smudge. Smudge, Pappy, Smudge. Aye. Let's go. We have our first series. And welcome one and all to the Fire Cup number 4 to Group B. Very quickly, if you're in the chat, predictions are about to close. Place your bets while you can, because predictions are about to close. So best of luck with your gamba, as they are going to be heading underway, so best of luck. And for those that are curious, this is a monthly tournament. Qualifiers were held throughout the week. Invites were placed as well. This is of course focused on the CIS region, and we have a group, a round robin group, more importantly. Oh my god, we have 6 players. We have 6 players rising to the challenge here in Group B. This morning we casted Group A, so I do recommend the VODs. There was some spicy matches. There was a lot of good fun, might I say, as well, so I do recommend the VODs if you do want to tune in and catch up on what has been going on. But here in this group we have UED Soldier, we have Replicant, Nicaract, Young Yakov, Milky Cow, and GG Machine. After this series, we will be switching our scenes over. We can have a look at the bracket itself at the group stage, and we can go over all the matches. Of course, this morning we did actually complete all of Group A. Today we have Group B, and tomorrow will be the playoffs. It'll be the playoffs and the grand finals. So tomorrow we will crown our Fire Cup champion. Also, very quickly, if you're in the chat, a big shout out to Mindle VK, because Mindle VK, he is the organizer, caster, sponsor of the event. He has been putting in a lot of work here in the Fire Cups, month after month. We haven't taken notice, of course, especially going over the results during the podcast, and now we are here to provide some English coverage. Here we go. For the time being, the Reaper doesn't get across the map. We'll standard opener, hatch gas pull into a standard build out of young Yakov. I should say old Yakov. Meanwhile, the drone does go down. Nice pick off here again. Old man Yakov, you know, he's not as fast as he used to be. Feels bad, man. He's like 20 years old. Not like this. But one drone goes down. Nicaract, he's keeping tabs here on Yakov. We do have our third base now being taken, of course. So standard build here out of our Zerg player. Just losing one drone early on is a slightly better start for Nicaract. Back at home is getting into a 1-1-1. Ooh, very aggressive here by Nicaract, embracing a 1-1-1, delayed third CC. Now, what I should emphasize as well coming into this is we have been casting quite a lot of Nicaract over the past year of play. Nicaract, he has improved so much over the past 12 months. It's been crazy to see his growth and his rate of improvement. But what I can say stylistically is that Nicaract in this matchup is very aggressive. Very aggressive. We see a lot of 2-base all-ins. We see a lot of 3-base all-ins as well. This is going to be a 1-1-1 setup, and we see why. BC. It's going to be a BC-based opener. Fusion Core is on the way. He's rushing into battle cruisers, and we'll see if if young Yakov does realize what's going on. We'll see if old Yakov realizes as well. As Nicaract, he's applying some pressure, he's keeping Yakov busy back at home. There is an overload, but the scout is denied. The overload takes a lot of hits. Was able to confirm the 1-1-1. So could I imagine read potentially a Hellbat push with Banshees? Could be BC as well. Yakov, he has a piece of the puzzle. He does have a piece of the puzzle. He's not fully aware of what's going on, but he has an idea, and we'll see how Yakov does respond. We'll see how he sets up. For now, Queen production. Getting into Queens. No spores yet, so we do have a Roach Warren on the way here towards the left-hand side. This can, of course, be BC into Mech from the side of Nicaract. The Hellions are amassing. Third CC now on the way. Again, not a 2-base all-in by any means, but still very committed, very aggressive from the Terran. As the BC is coming. Likewise, spores are being thrown down. We do see that young Yakov, he's playing carefully here. He's getting ready, getting his spores on location. Has one for each mineral line. Looking at the queen count, we have 6, soon to be 7 queens. Not a bad queen count here from Yakov either. Hellions are poking and prodding. Stim is on the way, so it's going to be BC, not into mech. It's going to be BC into a third base, into bio, as Stim is on the way. Now, ideally, I believe the goal of this BC is not to go into the mineral line. The BC is designed to dive on the queens. Hellions dive in as well, and the goal here is for Nikrak to overwhelm this army, to overwhelm this force of queens. But that is a lot of queens, and the spore comes forward as well. Roach production has begun. This is going to be a very difficult position to try to break. Lings, they do get across the map. They do head towards the third base, and the BC is about to be revealed. Yeah, the BC is revealed. Now he knows. Now Yakov is aware. More queens on the way. Nikrak moves out, and Nikrak, he does think better of pushing across the map. He hunts down the overlords, tries to supply block his opponent, establishes his third base, and Nikrak, he's taking it slow. Spire is on the way. Now, bear this in mind, Nikrak, he's going for the add-on swap. It was only a singular BC. There's no Yamato, there's no big investment into tech or upgrades. The first BC is moving out to harass, and Nikrak is macroing from here. Did invest very hard, and the third base is late, so I would say that young Yakov is in a better position. Young Yakov, he's fully saturated on 3 bases. He's got some solid tech. He's got a 4th base soon to be on the way as well. I would give the edge to young Yakov here, or even old Yakov, but it comes down to Nikrak to try to make use of this army. Hellions, they threaten to die, but the roaches are ready. Yeah, the roaches are in position. The BC does delay the 4th. It kills the drone. Catching another overlord, not bad. Meanwhile, the Lings, they threaten a counterattack. The Hellions do shut them down, but the roaches, they can push through. Yeah, the roaches, they do push towards the third base, but there is a massive amount of Marines with Stim ready for this, which means Nikrak should be fine. Yeah, he Sims it. He started steps forward, and he shuts down the roaches. This was an overextension by Yakov. He throws away so many roaches here. Trading minerals for gas, a very efficient trade from Nikrak. As he chases down almost every single roach, one roach does escape. Looking at the trades, looking at the efficiency here, you can see 11 roaches for only Hellions and 1 Reaper. Nikrak does not lose a single Marine. Medevacs have arrived, they can maintain themselves. BC is still up and running and still threading the bases, still keeping Yakov pinned back at home. And hopefully Yakov doesn't commit too hard to Corruptors. It's 5 Corruptors only, so just 5 Corruptors, that is enough to deflect 1 BC. Behind this, we do have the Armory for 2-2, second Factory for mass tank production. Yakov is getting his 4th CC on location, and now he's being active with those medevacs, with those Marines. BC tries to trade, but should teleport back home. Up! Oh, doesn't though. BC goes down. And Nikrak feels otherwise distracted. Does get a queen across the map, but only the queen, as there are plenty of roaches to defend. We do see Yakov, he's not just embracing roach production, but he's getting into a Bailey nest as well, so it looks like he wants to go into Lingbane Roach Ravager. Very robust mid-game composition here from Yakov. He, of course, has anti-air for the medevacs as well with his Corruptors, and now we see Yakov going for a bit of a counterattack. I don't think he can really push in, though. He has no Ravagers, his upgrades are still on the way, so he backs off. This is only for map control. Nikrak is safe and sound. He has a very nice setup here with 3 tanks with a siege line, and he does not get punished for that 4th base. Checking the vision, Yakov doesn't know. He is unaware of the 4th base, otherwise he could have kept going. He could have kept pushing, could have killed the SCV and delayed, maybe even cancelled the expansion, as the tanks are not in position to defend. So the base was vulnerable, but Yakov didn't check. Did not check in the end. Just catching up with the chat. Share map, share map. They grow up and old so fast. They fire grow up. I see what you did there. As Nikrak does dive on the expansion, forces a cancel. Nikrak, he does rotate back around. Ling run by is deflected. So far, so good. Nikrak, he's keeping up. Shut down the Roach push earlier, keeping up with the Lings, and now he can focus on his push. How many tanks does he have? He's moving out with 3 tanks, 2 Hellbats, and Mass Marine. He has Stim, he has Combat Shields, he has 1-1. Bathing speed is done, so it's not going to be easy pushing into Lingbane Roach Ravager. And Yakov, he is well set up. Nikrak, he has to take it slow. He has to take it slow, work through the creep, a bit at a time. Doesn't want to get surrounded, doesn't want to get caught out. Very methodical approach here from Nikrak. Yakov is committing. Did for a moment there. Tank shots going off. We do see Yakov is actually going for a counterattack with those Corruptors, going for the Planetary. Ooh, that could be a big pickoff. But there are Marines to defend. At the same time, Nikrak, he pulls away from the front lines. He's racing back home. Marines, they defend the fourth. And Nikrak, he does not get pounced upon. He bleeds out a couple of Marines, true. But he does escape with most of his tanks. Oh, they are exposed, though. Yeah, the tanks are exposed. Nikrak forced to fight out on the map. Bathers are coming in. Yeah, they do connect. Every tank goes down. Nikrak, he will hold. He will shut down this army. Even chasing down the Roach Ravager. But it did cost Nikrak all of his tanks. And Nikrak, he does fall in supply. Young Yakov, or Yakov, he can of course rebuild, remax. He's still young Yakov. He's still young at heart. We love him. As the economies are quite robust for both players. Nikrak, he's on a 4-base economy. He's on 81 SCVs plus mules, so he can sustain himself. But after losing all those tanks, it takes a while to rebuild. So Nikrak, he has to lick his wounds. As he's licking his wounds, young Yakov, he's taking. What do we have? The Hive. The Hive is done. We have Adrenal on the way, Ultra Cavern, and a Greater Spire. So all these Corruptors can now be morphed into Broodlords. And I'll be honest, Nikrak, he's not ready for Broodlords. He's not ready for Hive tech here. There are no Ghosts. Ghost Academy's on the way, but it's not quite ready. Nikrak, he went for a more aggressive build. He was hoping to end the game earlier, but the game has progressed. The game has progressed, and I'm concerned here for Nikrak. Trading well against the Lynx. Oh! Trading well against the Lynx. Has to pick up against the Bailing. Has to pull back. And I don't think young Yakov can really achieve too much here with this push. I mean, the Bailing's going to be thrown away. Roach is pushing into tank fire. One tank goes down. Once again, this was a better trade for Nikrak. I'm just waiting for the Broodlords. But still Corruptor. Actually, we see Yakov going into Ultra first. Interesting choice. He's investing into melee upgrades. Scan reveals the Ultra Cavern, sees it researching as well, so Nikrak, he has time to invest into Ghosts. And even though Nikrak has been trading, what has he not lost? Workers. Nikrak, his economy has been left untouched, to be honest. It's been untouched this entire game, which is a terrifying thought. Both armies are maxing out. Nikrak is going to have the more efficient army. And we'll see what he can get done with it. Does get eyes on the new would-be Sick. Sick expansion spotted, is focused down. Likewise, Yakov is double expanding. Nikrak, yeah, there we go, moving on the right-hand side as well. Going for a split push. Corruptors are coming in for the dive. They want the Metamax. They get one. They're going to get two. Do they get all three? Oh, not quite. But two Metamax do fall. Nice pickoffs here from Yakov. Meanwhile, Nikrak, he doesn't quite go for the expansion. He clears up creep instead. I mean, he's still getting some value here, but it means that Yakov, he gets a Sick. Sick expansion is getting up and running. Pushing forward, bleeding out Roaches. The Wilds, they connect with the Liberator. The Liberator goes down. At the same time, Roaches, they head towards the Planetary. Up towards the third. Yeah, Nikrak, he's being pulled apart. SCVs are finally going down. We spoke earlier about the lack of economic damage. Finally, it's here. And again, Yakov, he wants to throw away these Roaches. This is dead supply, so he throws away the Roaches. He trades with 9 SCVs. That is a worthwhile trade for Yakov. And now he replaces with Broodlords. 7 Broodlords on the way. We have Broodlord, we have Ultra, we have Lingbane, we have more Corruptors, and now Infestors as well. Yakov, he's getting into his ideal late game composition. He's getting there. And Nikrak, I mean, he does have a good ghost count, true. His ghost count is looking quite healthy here. But we'll see if he can keep up. As he's trying to secure himself, setting up the freedom zones, the tank lines, another fusion core on the way, which is going to be for Liberator range, but I think Nikrak might have forgotten about that first fusion core. Regardless, it's on the way. It's on the way. It'll help, I'm sure. Meanwhile, Yakov, he's taking his entire half of the map, droning up, saturating his bases, getting up to 80 workers. Another Roach run by, once again picking up a handful of SCVs. Not quite, but almost. And here we go, those 7 Broodlords, oh, now turning into 12, soon to be 14. 14 Broodlords from Yakov. That's a lot of Broods. Scan finally reveals, and I don't see any Vikings. So my apologies, there's one. There's one Viking here for Nikrak. He has Ghosts. But Bayer goes on its own against Broodlord. I mean, we need more support. There we go. Vacuum production has begun. Thor production has begun as well, but the production only just began, and now Yakov is pushing in. Oof. Yeah, Ghost under fire. We get some decent snipes. But I do have to give the edge here to Yakov. 8 drones go down to the drop. Nicely done. That Broodlord count is looking terrifying. And again, Nickrat, he needs more time, or I should say he needed to have scattered this earlier. Remember, Nickrat, he was reacting to Ultras. He was getting ready for an anti-Ultra army, which he does have, but oh my god. The fungal is brutal. The friendly fire as well. And these Broodlords are snowballing out of control. Oof, they're diving on the ghosts. More ghosts falling. Expensive losses for Nickrat. And now we have more Thors on the way, but the damage has been done. From here, Yakov, he can back off. He's building up more infestors. He can just shut this down with fungal growths. Nice transfuse on the broods. How many broods does he have? Down to 11. A couple of them were sniped, but only a couple. Oh, speaking of, another 2 snipes going up. Not bad. 2 more broods go down. See here, more ship weapon upgrades. Ultras, they hit the left-hand side. 5 more Broodlords on the way. Oh my god. I mean, without any Vikings, there's no need to keep Corruptors, is the problem. There's no need for Corruptors. So just, they're all morphed into Broods. Just all thing Broodlord. It's Broodlord even. Snipe's gonna be going up. Did have a decent fungal from Yakov. How many? Down to 11 again. I mean, once again, there were some good snipes. Gets an Ultra. Broodlords push in. Oh, another one. Another 2 Broods go down. Down to 9. I mean, these have been some very nice pickoffs here from Nickrat, and these fungals have been too late. And again, the fungals are necessary to deny the snipes. But the fungals have been delayed from Yakov. And that Broodlord count, it's down to 8. 8 Broodlords left. Nickrat, he's holding his own. Now has a solid Thor army as well, or Thor supportive army. And that momentum that Yakov had, it doesn't have as much of it anymore. Still has a bank to work with and still has a lot of infestors, so it's going to be difficult to dive on this army and break out. But pushing into this defensive setup, it's proving difficult for Yakov. And here we go, Nickrat, he breaks out. Oh, at least tries to. Thinks about it. Yakov not too far behind with those Broodlords. The 4th Spore Force is finishing. Snipes going up. Tank's getting a bit of friendly fire. At the same time, Ultra run by towards the left-hand side is going to be cleaned up by these ghosts. For the most part. Oof. 1 ghost goes down. Still a better trade for Nickrat, 1 for 2. Oh my god, the tank shots! They shut down 3 of those infestors. Yakov overextends. Is taking more bases, taking some of the bases of Nickrat. As we do see a surge of Broodlords once again. Now back up to 13. We also have some Vipers in the mix as well. So Vipers that can abduct the Thors. They can abduct the tanks. More importantly, powerbomb some of these medevacs. Oh my god, the friendly fire, Jesus! Ay, ay, ay. That was 2 ghosts going down, but a lot of friendly fire. Meanwhile, Nickrat, he gains ground towards the left-hand side. Pushing forward, does get a base. Yakov out of position. Nice pickup. Broodlord's moving forward. Oh. Snipes will be connecting. They get 2 more brutes. They get 2 more broodlords. So 5 broodlords in total against 3 ghosts. So once again, better trades for Nicaract. Broodlord count is building up. I'm loving now Liberation range on the way here for those Liberators to give Nicaract some more breathing room here. He has been holding his own. Did lose his Thor, I believe, but he's got 1 Thor left with his main army on the right-hand side. The rest of his Thors are over towards the left. Snipes going up. Does join the Liberator. Oh, Ghost will be going down. Second Ghost goes down as well. I think we're committing. We commit to the fight. Flanking Ghosts come in. Good snipes. And Nicaract, he's not trading too poorly here. Thors have arrived. Oh my god, the snipes are brutal. Where's the fungal? The fungal was a little bit too late there. It was a late fungal from Yakov. As the dust settles, that was what? That was how many? That was, oh my god, that was 12 Ghosts for 11 Broodlords. Almost a 1-to-1 trade between Broodlord and Ghost. As both players are replenishing their armies, we can see Nicaract going to a more Liberator Thor heavy composition. Oh, the Hellbat, let's go. We're back in Heart of the Swarm. Hellbat drop here into the mineral line. Drones get roasted. 14 drones go down. Nicely done here by Nicaract. Gets the mineral line. Oh, but he does have to get the hell out of here as the Corruptors are on the hunt. Vipers as well. Oh, he gets 1. He gets 2. And both Metaracts full. Nicaract securing himself. Ultra run by towards the left-hand side. This time, where are the Ghosts? They're not here. And this planetary, it's going to go down. Massive pickup. Again, previously the Ghosts were split up, and now we actually see all the Ghosts responding. That's a little bit scary here. These Ghosts, ideally we do want to split them up into 2 groups. Don't want them all to be on their own like that. But they're coming back. The Ghosts are returning. As Nicaract, he is denying mining here on the right-hand side. Very important. This does mean that Yakov does not have the economic lead that he otherwise would want. Time's going up. So basically, ideally, a Zerg player wants to be upper base. Upper base against Terran. But now we're really on even bases, as this base can soon be taken by the Terran player. So it's important here that Nicaract maintains control of this expansion, so he can take it himself. Meanwhile, the Broodlords, they rotate around. Snipes coming in! Dude, catch 2 of those Broods. Well, tank gets picked up. He gets he gets both tanks. Nicely done. 14 Broods against 16 Ghosts. Oh. Nice abductions, dragging Liberators into Spore range. Oh my god, the snipes are brutal. Where are the Fungals? The Fungals are missing. These Infestors are chilling in the back line. They're like, oh yeah, look, that's a crazy fight happening over there. But without Fungal Growth support, I mean, these Broodlords, they are dropping like flies. Down to 9. You see here, it was 2 Ghosts for 5 Broodlords. So once again, a much more efficient trade from Nicaract. But a big reason for that is the lack of Fungal Growths. Meanwhile, Nicaract, he attempts to re-expand, but once again, Yakov does hit the left-hand base. Does hit the mineral line. SCVs are going down. Nicaract not in position. Again, earlier, Nicaract, he did have like a secondary army here to defend, but hasn't had that for quite some time. On top of that, if Nickrack isn't too careful, this base could be taken by the Zerg. Ooh, big reaction. Nickrack, he unsieges almost everything. That's a big response. The Ghost, no! The Ghosts are exposed! Oh my god, massive pickups. Ay, 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 that's what, 6, 7, 8 Ghosts. Oh my, so many of them go down. That's brutal. That's a brutal loss for Nickrack. That's how many, that was 9 Ghosts falling. And the Broodlord cannon's still healthy. Broodlords are coming in. Jesus. That was 9 Ghosts falling. That was not worth it for Nickrack. And he still doesn't really leave... Okay, there we go. He does leave some Thors to defend and some Liberators. Again, Nickrack just having a bit of a harder time splitting up his army to defend both locations at once. I mean, there's no Planetary here either. Snipe goes up. Oh, 3 Broodlords go down. I would not be opposed to Nickrack even pushing here on the left-hand side. Yeah, he's pushing. I do like this. So you got Nickrack, he does hit the base, brings it down. And Yaku pushing in. Gets another tank. The Ghosts holding their own. Where's the Fungal? Fungal will connect. They shut down the Ghosts. Yeah, Lingbane Ultra collapses in, and the Ghosts are going to be completely reset. A massive fight here for Yakov. Takes down the Ghost, takes down the tanks, but here come the reinforcements. Yeah, Vikings, they come into play. Reinforcing Ghosts as well. Snipes are going up. And there's only a handful of Broodlords left. Oh, it's going to be close. Thors, they're coming in for a flank as well. And there's 3 Broodlords remaining. Nickrack, he takes the fight. He cleans this up. But does he keep pushing? Does he have enough to keep going? Can he chase this down? What does he have left? 5 Ghosts, 4 Thors. Did take down the base on the left-hand side, and he can go. Yeah, he can go for the last mining base here of Yakov. I mean, it still has an economy. Don't get me wrong, but this expansion is going to fall. At the same time, Yakov going for a Ling counterattack. Oh, the Ultras get caught. Massive pickoffs. Ultras get caught out. Ling run by does hit bottom left. Liberators out of position. And they have to re-siege. Main army pulls back. And Liberators able to eventually clean this up. Eventually. And Nickrack, he's taking this base. Now remember, because young Yakov, he barely mined this expansion. This is a fresh mining base here for Nickrack to take himself. This is why it's so important that he denied so much mining earlier. But Nickrack, he's spread thin. The Ghosts! No, the Ghosts! They get caught out. Once again, they get caught. They were exposed, big blinding clouds as well in the Thors. And the mass Ultras breaking through. It's not about the Broodlords anymore, it's about the Ultras. We do get some nice snipes. Oh, he has to pick up, he has to get the hell out of here. Nickrack, he does not establish the space. And he plummets in supply. Nickrack, he's broke. He needs money, he needs gas, he needs minerals. He needs an economy. It's something he doesn't have. He's forced to go into marine production. It's not ideal. Yeah, marine doesn't scale well against this. And it looks like young Yakov, old Yakov even, he's doing it. It's been a scrappy game, very scrappy. Both players are running out of gas. Oh my god, massive EMPs on the infestors. EMPs pop up. Ooh, but the Ultras, yeah, the mass Ultra breaks through. GG gets called, and old Yakov will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Yakov does take the first game, but that was a very intense game as well. There were definitely moments for both players, but there were some key, I want to say there was some key moments for Nickrack where there was some rough, where he did kind of blunder a little bit and did lose too many Ghosts. If you remember, there was that one moment where Nickrack responded to the Ultra run by with his Ghost, and he lost 9. He lost 9 Ghosts trying to respond to those Ultras. Likewise, on the right hand side, we saw his Ghosts getting caught out a couple of times as well. And I mean, you can imagine that game state with 9, 10, 11 extra Ghosts. That could have been the difference there. That could have been the difference between, you know, a win or a loss. And Oh, very close. Very close in the end. GG, well played. Young Yakov takes game 1, but now we're getting ready for game number 2. That was merely only the first game of the series. Plenty more to come. Let's go. Plenty more to come. As we are going to be loading into Golden Aura as game 2. Here we go. Here we go. Just catching up in the chat. But yeah, hope you all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. Again, this is our fourth cast of the day. For those who maybe didn't get to tune in, we just finished up with Alima League. Alima League was amazing. Alima League was a lot of fun. Very intense series, really intense matches. I do recommend the VODs if you missed out on Alima League. Did just wrap it up. And of course, now we are getting into our fourth broadcast of the night, getting into game 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the red Terran player. We have the Platinum Heroes Terran. It is Nicoract. Looking to tie things up, looking to fight back in the series, and spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, currently teamless. He was at one point young, but now he is old. Smirch. Lead the series 1-0. It is Yakov. Young Yakov back. He's still young in my eyes. He's like 21 years old. Wait, how old? I think he's a little bit older than that, to be fair. I think he's a little bit older. But still. He's a boy. Shaking my head. Hold on, I'm double checking. I'm double checking. He's 20. He's not even 20. He's 20 years old. Old papi. Oh my god. So old. God damn it. Este Yakov. Ay. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. 20 years old. Old confirmed. Soon he's gonna be ancient Yakov. He'll get there in a couple of years. Like, by the time he's 23, ancient. Elder Yakov. Oh no. Not like this. As Nicoract is going for a rack expand, economic opener or standard opener here by Nicoract, just a rack expand. Likewise, Hatchgas pool out of Yakov. It goes for the SCV scout, confirms that there is no early pool timing. And the Reaper moves out. The Reaper does move out. Anyone have a link? There we go. The Reaper does poke in, dancing with the Lings. Does dance with Yakov's army. Meanwhile, third base is now being taken. Yakov, of course, just securing himself. Oh, does get the tumor. Nicoract popping off. Tumor goes down. So a very nice start here by Nicoract. Does maintain his position. And once again, do you see what I see? I see a starport before the third CC. So very aggressive build. Now we saw this 1-1-1 last game lead into a BC build. We saw battle cruisers from Nicoract in game 1. And we could see that again here, or this could be into Banshees, into a Hellbat push. Regardless, very aggressive. Very aggressive build by Nicoract as he is delaying his third base by quite some time. This could technically also lead into a 2-base all-in. We saw last game it just led into a delayed third, so we'll keep an eye on Nicoract as he's piecing his build together. There's Yadon swap, which means, yep, Cloak Banshee. So it is going to be Banshee this time, not Battle Cruiser. See, middle-aged Yakov. Oh no. Now he's already past that. He's past the middle age. Ah. Oh. Feels bad, man. As Hellions, they try to poke in. Yakov getting into a roach play. Burrow being researched. That's a new one. Okay. Burrow is on the way. Burrow's a really interesting upgrade with roaches just because it's kind of like Blink. In a way, Blink is to avoid damage and to escape with your stalkers. Burrow allows the roaches to, of course, tunnel down and to avoid damage. But okay, he cancels. I was like, that'd be crazy. It looks like it was a misclick. So he cancels Burrow. He does start up Lair instead. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? Once again, I do not see a third CC. There's no third command center. 2 more ranks is 2-base all in. It's going to be a 2-base all in. Oh my god, throws down. Double eBay behind this. Interesting. This is going to be a 1-1 timing from Nickrat. He's going to be building up a hefty amount of bio. Hyper aggressive. Banshees, they hit the main base. Spore's not quite done. Drones are going down. He gets 2, he gets 3 drone kills. Very nicely done. 3 workers do fall. Nickrat does pull away. Hellions still being active. Are you implying that playing SC2 ages you at an exponential rate? Ah, the amount of years lost. It's not. This is the real truth. It's not SC2. It's the ladder, papi. It's the ladder is what ages you. It takes away your youth. It sucks you dry. Takes away your hope, your happiness, your wonder, your innocence. It's all gone. All taken away by the ladder. I mean, look at Eva. Eva's like 12 years old. And it's over. It's the smudge for Eva is real. Oh no. Este Eva. Another youth taken away by the SC2 ladder. Feels bad, man. As the Banshees, they are so far doing a good job at just trying to distract and pull Yakov apart, getting a couple of creep tumors, trading with the army. Now again, this Hellion Banshee, it's only designed to distract. It's only keeping the Zerg player busy while Nickrat builds up for his all-in. I mentioned before that again, 2-base all-in out of Nickrat. He's got 5 racks set up on 2 bases. 1-1 is almost done. This is going to be a 1-1 timing for Nickrat, and one way or another, it's going to end the game. Either he kills Yakov or he dies trying. He does bust into the middle line. 7 drones go down. And ideally, this forces Yakov to replenish this mineral line and to make drones, not make army. Now, Nickrat, he's scouting, he's checking for a third, he sees that there is no expansion, and Yakov, he does not make any more drones. He does not. Oh, I spoke too soon. 7 drones on the way. This is ideal for Nickrat. He wants his opponent to make drones while he pushes. And here we go. It's all or nothing for Nickrat. Lings, they poke at the front door. Road Ravager getting ready. The tanks are on siege. Oh, files don't quite connect. But again, Nickrat's on the timer. The longer this goes on, the worse it's going to be. Tanks sieging up behind this. Lings are getting ready to try to catch reinforcements. Or even coming in from behind. Nickrat is pushing forward. The Lings are coming in. The army bit overstimmed. The first tank does get surrounded. Oh, the tank falls. One tank, both tanks fall. Without the tanks, there's no more backbone to the army. And Yakov, he's shutting this down. He shuts this down. The Biles connect. The Queens come in as well. And Nickrat just does not have enough. Not like this. GG gets called, and Yakov will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, young Yakov will claim the series. My condolences to Nickrat. Again, he did hold his own, and game 1 was really close. Game 1 was a beautiful way to start this broadcast. To embrace ZVT in the late game on Oceanborn was very close, very neck and neck. Here in game 2, Nickrat, he had enough. He's like, you know what, I'm just going for the all-in. I'm just going for the 2-base all-in one way or another. It works or it doesn't. In the end, it did not. Unfortunately, young Yakov, he was able to slow down the army, able to come in for the surround, able to chip away at the forces enough to slow it down, and GG. GG, well played. Young Yakov will take it 2-0, and now we are getting ready for our next series. And the question becomes, what's up next? Where are we going? Where are we headed? Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back of yourselves. Ooh, let's switch our scenes over and try to figure out where we are and even just go over all the upcoming series. Here we go. We do have Group B. Group A, of course, was this morning. So if you want to tune into the VODs, I do recommend it. Group A was insane. This is, I guess, a bit of a spoiler, but we have to talk about Group B, we have to talk about Group A. And the big, crazy results of Group A was Art. Art, out of all players, out of Wayne, out of Strange, out of Shameless, out of Nikic, Art, he surpassed so many expectations. Art was a beast last night, or technically this morning. And Art, he came out on top of the group, followed by Strange and Wayne. That is our top 3 of Group A, making it into the playoffs. What about Group B, though? We have a UED Soldier, we have Replicant, Nicorant, Young Yakov, Milky Cow, and GG Machine. Out of these 6 players, 3 of them will advance on. And this is a round-robin group stage. Oh boy. You can see here the first round matches. Now, we just concluded with round 1. Young Yakov gets a 2-0 over Nicorant, but now we're getting ready for round number 2. And I'll be honest, I don't really know what to jump into. I'm a little bit torn. On the one hand, Milky Cow versus Nicorant looks like a lot of fun. Milky Cow is an animal. I mean, he is a cow. But Milky Cow, he is an absolute animal. He has a lot of all-ins, a lot of cheeses, a lot of really unique builds. He's a very unorthodox player, and I do think that I want to cast Milky Cow eventually. Eventually tonight, I do want to cast him. I do want to embrace the chaos that is Milky Cow. Scrolling down, we have Young Yakov versus UED Soldier. That looks like a lot of fun. I do want to feature UED Soldier. UED Soldier has also been rising through the ranks over the past 6 months. He has been getting better and better and been improving. I would say that UED Soldier is one of the dark horses of the group, and I do think it's going to be difficult for him to advance on and to have a deeper and deeper run and make it to the playoffs. But I also want to feature him, if at all possible, at a certain point. Meanwhile, we have GG Machine and Replicant. GG Machine, of course, a very young player, similar to Eba in that sense. You know, a young up-and-comer, has a lot of potential as a player, has been improving a lot. Fun fact, GG Machine actually used to play in our amateur tournaments many years ago. You know, back in 2017, 2018, before GG Machine was a GM, back when he was Diamond and Masters, he did compete and did play in our amateur events. So, again, a lot of history there with GG Machine, and do have a lot of love for him. He's up against Replicant. Replicant, of course, the Terran player from Kazakhstan, has also been improving as well. If I remember correctly, I think he plays mech. If I remember correctly, I think he does embrace mech in this matchup, but I can't quite recall. The lobbies are being set up, the lobbies are being made. I'm leaning towards either one of these two for now. Either Milky Cow versus Nicorant or Young Yakov versus UED Soldier. I'm very much so torn on what to embrace here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what becomes available first. Of course, we have, round 3, round 4, and then round 5. 5 rounds. 5 rounds in total. Again, round robin group stage with 6 players does mean 5 rounds. And, yeah, we'll get ready for that next series. For now, it looks like we're going to be going on a short break. It looks like we do have some time to ourselves, and players are conducting vetoes as we speak as well. Oh, never mind. I have a lobby. Okay. We do have a lobby here. And we have confirmation. Up next is going to be Young Yakov versus UED Soldier. Let's go. We're getting into that PvZ. And you can hear the beeps. We are getting into our game. I see Enki. Enki emotes in the chat. El hermoso, papi. Enki. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos, papi. But yes, the Olympic League VODs should be available on Chizik, and they're also being uploaded to YouTube. Tonight's VODs are going to take some time, though. Usually, after we cast Olympic League, I do start immediately rendering the VODs, but after Olympic League, I mean, I'm here, I'm casting again. So unfortunately, I don't really have the time to, I can't really render and get those VODs ready. So Olympic League VODs are going to take a little bit longer to upload and to get on YouTube, a little bit longer than usual. So I do apologize for that. It will take an extra couple of days. But regardless, we're jumping into our fresh best of 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ocean Board. I do have to get his name ready. I do apologize. Bam. There we go. we have the green Protoss player representing CSO Esports. It is Uity Soldier. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. Ooh, currently teamless. He was once young, but now at the elder age of 20, he is old. It is Yakov. God damn it. Shaking my head. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets while you can. Predictions are going to be closing in a couple of seconds, so you have very little time to wager your bets and wager your grapes. Best of luck in the chat with those predictions as we do settle in. Now, unlike the previous series, I do think that Nickrat and Young Yakov was very close between the skill levels of those players. Here, I would say that Young Yakov is more of a favorite, but we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. Best of luck to Uity Soldier. I'm here to embrace the Protoss. Let's go. I'm here to find out how much he's been improving over the past couple of months. Again, we have seen the rate of improvement for Uity Soldier quite a bit over the past 6 months, and we have seen him cause upsets. So I do believe he has it in him to bring it here to Yakov. Here we go. How do you pronounce Chijik? So from my understanding, the way to pronounce it in Korean, because it is a Korean word, is the double Z's. You pronounce each one with like J-I. That's why I say Chijik. Chijik. There you go. So like J-I. I did have a Korean actually record themselves and give me a soundbite. Hold on. I'm gonna expose Hyper One. I got you. Can you hear this? Hold on.
치지직.
There you go.
치지직.
I don't know how well you heard that, but that was Hyper One giving me Korean lessons on how to pronounce it. Hold on, I'll do it again.
치지직. 치지직.
Chijik. There you go. But if you're curious what that means, it's like onomatopoeia. I guess that's the correct word, I think. But it's basically it's meant to be the sound of static on like an old TV. You know, like the old TVs that have like static whenever you have like bad reception or something. That's meant to be like that sound, like the sound of static. But let's embrace the game itself here. It was a... It almost died. It is going to be the gates of Cyber expand into a Twilight Council, into a Dark Shrine open. Oh my, wait, what? It's going to be a DT-based build, but Charge has begun, but I think that might just be for show. Is he going to cancel? Is he going to cancel Charge and make it look like Glaive at Epps? Or does he commit? I'm curious here. Oh, wait, wait, what? He does cancel Charge, but then he actually commits into Glaives. And then he cancels. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. He does cancel as the Overlord has incomplete information, has not confirmed the Dark Shrine itself. And back at home, Young Yakov, Hatch Gas pull into a third, is getting some safety Spore Crawler. So Yakov, he is not cutting corners. Spores are on the way. So I thought Chijik didn't let you put the VODs on YouTube. We aren't allowed to stream on YouTube, but we can post VODs, thankfully. Chijik, yeah. As Lings, they do hit the third. Nicely done. Two Adepts already going to be going down. Meanwhile, DTs, they have hit the field. Ooh, as the DTs have arrived, but it looks like the Prism is forced back home, and it's forced to be used defensively instead. And Dark Templar to defend the third base. We get a master out with the Lings, and do we force a cancel? We should. Yeah, despite the DTs, the base is denied, and the DTs are stuck at home defending when they should be across the map attacking. Ay. So rough position here for Uity Soldier. His build has been delayed. The surprise factor of the Dark Templar isn't there, and Yakov, he just goes for the third base once again. He wants it. We'll get the pylon. He does get some secure damage. We'll avoid those Dark Templar. Rotating between the bases. And do you see what I see? Oh my god, that's a massive gateway explosion. This looks like the beginning of a 2-base all-in. 6 gateways plus the 3 that are already done. That's going to be a 9-gate 2-base. Jesus, oh my god, that's crazy. 9-gate 2-base all-in. Hi. It's going to be a lot of gateways. And I believe Yakov has not fully scouted. Yeah, he is not aware of the massive gateway explosion. Third base is being taken for the time being, but I believe UD Soldier should be getting ready for a move out. He should be getting ready for a push with a mass blink stalker and with a couple of Archons to support as well. Oh. Sounded a bit like 7 o'clock in Japanese. I do not know how to say that in Japanese. Let us know. Let us know. How is it pronounced? Ibt. We have a Korean and a Japanese lesson today. As we do see UD Soldier pushing in. There we go. Here comes the warp in. Not able to make full use of his mass gateways, but reinforces nonetheless. Meanwhile, back at home, Young Yakov, he set up with Roach Ravager, didn't overdrone, did cut workers at 63. Links are being cleaned up though. UD Soldier gaining ground. Does push forward. All the piles, some of them do graze the army. Graze the army here. Piles, not quite connecting. UD Soldier, can he break through? I mean, he is all in. It's all or nothing for him. Trading well against the Lings, but he has to get on top of the Roaches. He has to get on top of the army. Last is being forced back. Stalkers are going down. Stalkers, they can't really replace too well. And where's the warp in? Where are the reinforcements? You can see UD Soldier. He's got 1,000 minerals in the back. There we go. 8 Stalkers reinforcing back at home. They do warp in. But these are late reinforcements. And again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Yakov. Building up more Lings, more Roaches, more Ravagers. Trying to build up here. Meanwhile, Yakov, he again did drone up somewhat, up to 67. Still an acceptable drone count. Building up Banelings, more Lings, more Roaches. 17 Banelings in production. Biles, will they connect? As they do connect here on the Stalkers. Banelings are going to be able to tank some shots. Biles once again. So many Stalkers going down. Yeah, this is just going from bad to worse here as Yakov, he collapses on the army. GG gets called. All the G's, Pappy, as Yakov survives the all-in and takes game number 1. GG. Does take the first game. I do appreciate the build by UD Soldier. It was very chaotic, if you remember. He was pretending to go into charge, pretending to go into glaives. He was kind of trying to fake out a build. But unfortunately, because of the Ling aggression, the DTs, they couldn't really get much done across the map. On top of that, Young Yakov played it safe, right? He played it safe. Yakov, he didn't skip his spores. He still made them, despite not seeing and confirming the Dark Shrine. Yakov was being very careful with his approach, and because of that, the Dark Templar didn't really achieve much. They didn't get much damage done, and you know, that led into the eventual 2-base all-in, or 2.5-base all-in that we saw from UD Soldier. And with that, GG. GG, well played. We are getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkion, and we have the green Protoss player. The green Protoss representing CSO Esports down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is UD Soldier. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player leading the series 1-0. I would like... He may call himself old, but he's still young at heart, Papi. I want to believe the innocence, it's still there. It's still there. The hope, the joy, the happiness, somewhere inside him. It is Young Yakov. Here we go. As Yakov, he is rushing into the gold base. Does mine through the mineral patch, rushing into the gold. We'll see how UD Soldier does respond to this. Fun fact, earlier today, actually, we were casting the KSL. We were casting the Korean StarCraft League. That was, Jesus, what? 10 hours ago. No, more than that. My apologies. 14, around 14 or so hours ago. We were live, we were casting the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, and we saw this very same dynamic. We saw Dark rush into the gold, and Hero scouted, and how did Hero respond? He went Gate into Forge, into Nexus, and he cannon rushed the hell out of this position. He forced Dark to cancel, forced Dark into his more natural base, and things kind of stabilized from there. Oh, we see UD Soldier faking a cannon rush. Okay. Pylon gets placed, but there's no forge. Does Yakov forfeit? I think he should just let this finish, right? I mean, even if it was cannons. That's a bit awkward. I was gonna say he should let this finish, as in the hatchery should be let finish. And yeah, Yakov, he just lets it finish. And yeah, UD Soldier, he has to get the hell out of here. There is no cannon rush. There is no denial. There are some adepts on the way, and the Overlord does confirm. The Overlord gets eyes on the double adept opener. Again, 2 gateways as a response. And I do actually like this as a response as well. Basically, what's happening here, we have 2 and then a 3rd and 4th adept. Very fast adept aggression from the side of the Protoss player. And because of this opener from the Zerg, link speed is late. Link speed is late because of this build, and without link speed, these adepts, they're going to be able to have more free reign between these bases. They check the golds, there's nothing here. There's nothing at the gold base. Why? Because young Yakov, he saw the opener, he saw the gateways, he knows how vulnerable he is, and he keeps all of his drones in the main. He's oversaturated in the main base for good reason. Doesn't want to lose too much. Lings, they threaten to surround, they will! Oh my god! They collapse on the army. As UD Soldier does slip away. Building up to additional adepts, getting up to 4. Twilight counter behind this. This can go into glaives. Keeps checking the gold. Does keep checking. Now it's getting saturated, but now young Yakov, he is vulnerable. Adepts that don't quite commit. Lings are amassing. Link speed about to finish up. Nice pickoffs. 2 drones go down. Very nicely done here by UD Soldier. And there are the glaives. There is that glaives follow-up. It's going to be 2 gates on the low ground and 2 gates in the main. It's going to be 4 gate glaive adepts from UD Soldier. But can he build up that adept count? Should be able to. Yeah, he does preserve those adepts. The adept count is slowly gaining ground or getting higher. And young Yakov, there's a Roach Warren. Okay, safety Roach Warren from young Yakov. With this, he can get into his Roach production, and he can survive. He can defend against this. Now, bear this in mind. This is 4 gate glaive adepts, but there's no robo. There's no robo. What does that mean? That means no warp prism, no reinforcements. What you see is what you get. Reinforcements will take a long time to move out across the map. Meanwhile, young Yakov, he does threaten the 3rd base. Gets a bit of damage on it. Gets his gold base saturated. Getting his natural as well. He's on 2 gases. Roach Warren is done. Roach production has begun. And young Yakov is still in the dark. Still trying to get a read on what's happening. Does get eyes on the additional gateways. Does see the gates. Will confirm the Twilight Council. Dark Shrine is on the way. That I was not expecting. So glaive adepts into DTs. Adepts move out. Roaches are trying to keep up. Lings, they hit the 3rd base at the same time. And so far, Yakov, he does control this well. Does lose a handful of drones. 2 drones do fall. But you can see Yakov, he doesn't engage prematurely with those Lings. He's trying to lock down the army. He does get within range. He does lock it down. Meanwhile, was that a kill? That was a cancel. That was a cancel on the expansion. Adepts, they do make it out, but there is no 3rd. UD Soldiers being forced into an all-in. Oh. We'll deny some mining. Lings are keeping up with the shade. They lock it down. Not the best trades here from Yakov, though. Adepts, they can trade well against Lings on their own. 3rd base is going to be rebuilt. Dark Shrine is done. And is there any detection? Okay, there's 1 spore at the gold. Likewise, there's a spore on the way at the natural. No spore in the main. Ooh, DTs, they have potential. They have potential. as they move out across the map. If they all go for the golds, then Young Yakov can of course shut it down. But if they split up between the bases, then we can pop off. Oh no. Oh, okay. As Yakov, he may have seen it, he may have spotted it. DTs are rotating over towards the natural. Lings are repositioning, Spore as well. Oh, the Spore is yet to fully borrow though. Oh, he does miss the whole position. But he does lock down the army regardless. He gets one, he gets two. Two DTs, the last one does make it through at the same time. Adepts, they threaten the gold. Up. There goes the final. Dark Templar is cleaned up. Adepts, they get locked down. The vials! Oh my god, the connections! GG, well played. Congratulations, as again, UD Soldier, he was all in. He had nothing else behind it. He needed to get damage done with those Dark Templar and with the Glaive Adepts, and Young Yakov, proving he's not too old, Pappy. He's still young. He's still got it. GG does take it 2-0. GG, well played. Young Yakov, he will take the series at 2-0, and so far going undefeated in the group stage. And the question becomes, what do we have next? What is happening with the group? Do we have any updates? Do we have any new results coming in? Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back yourselves. Let us switch our scenes over and catch up. Okay, here we go. Okay, I mean, we have results from the first round. We have UD Soldier and GG Machine. They are tied up 1-1. So remember, these are best of twos. And UD Soldier, even though he struggled against Young Yakov here in the second round, he actually did hold his own against GG Machine. Meanwhile, we have our result, of course. Young Yakov, he takes down Nickrak 2-0. Round 2 looks like is still underway, still yet to be determined. So a lot of matches still are taking part. I believe Nickrat is mid-series against Milky Cow. I believe they are mid-series. And likewise, we are now getting ready for our next match. But if some of these other series are still ongoing, I can see GG Machine and Replicant, they're in-game. And Milky Cow and Nickrat are in-game as well. That means that we have to wait. We do have to wait a little bit here for these matches to wrap up. And then we can jump into round 3. Now, having a bit of a look at round 3, what does speak to us? Which one of these matches does look the most enticing? I'm curious here. So we have Young Yakov versus Milky Cow. That looks like some fun. Does look like a lot of fun. We have UD Soldier versus Replicant, and we have Nickrat versus GG Machine. I'll be honest. When I think of Milky Cow, I think of his chaotic nature against Terran and against Protoss. I don't know how much chaos he has against, or what he has to offer here against Young Yakov. I'm curious. It could be a lot of fun. Definitely could be a lot of fun. But maybe it's time to take a break from Young Yakov. I am more than willing to jump into Nickrat versus GG Machine. Again, Nickrat versus Young Yakov was so intense and so close earlier. I want to see him face off against GG Machine, and I want another TVZ. So that is what I have my eyes on. Have my eyes on Nickrat versus GG Machine. We're just going to be waiting for the players to become available and for the matches to open up. That is the plan. Otherwise, okay. Just now setting up. Just catching up in the matches and in the standings. So, yeah, until then, we're going to be going in a short break. When we come back, we will have our next match. We'll have our next series. We'll have some more StarCraft. Don't you worry. So take this moment to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your Marines, and we'll be back soon with our next matchup. See you soon. And welcome back. A very short break. Hope you enjoyed the Brood War OSC while you could, as we are jumping into our next series. We're jumping in mid-series, actually. Another matchup here in round 2. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Red Terran player. The Red Terran representing the Planet of Heroes. Down in the series, it is Nicaract. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player. He has a bit of the blues. Oh, true. He's actually blue. Let's go. It is Milky Cow. Bam. There we go. So we are jumping in mid-series. Milky Cow is leading 1-0, and I'm curious how this story ends. Oh boy, again, Milky Cow, he is a beast, he is an animal. He's usually very aggressive in other matchups, but what I will say is that in TVT, from my experience at least, he does come off a little bit more standard in his play and in his approach. So, yeah, we'll see how he does actually approach this matchup. I can tell you that, of course, the game 1 between these two was very long. It was a very long game 1. As you can imagine, we wrapped up an entire 2 games in their only game 1, so we could be in for another longer one. Could be in for a long one here. If you're in the chat, predictions I believe would have closed by now, but best of luck. Best of luck in the chats with those predictions. Actually, I should close them. Hold on. It's kind of weird to predict the best of 2 when we already have a 1-0 lead. There we go. As we are going to be settling in. And so far, double gas opener versus double gas opener. Mirrored builds for the time being, getting into a Rax, into a factory. So far, so good. So we do have our engagement early on. We do have our Marine moving out through the center of the map. The SCV is here to tank some shots. But last, Milky Cow, he's going to be forced back for the time being, waiting for reinforcements. Reaper is on the way. Hellion reinforcing them as well. CC on location, slightly faster for Nicaract. Does have a slightly faster expansion, but we'll see if he can survive the aggression of Milky Cow. So here we go. He is pushing forward. 1 Reaper, 1 Marine. Oh! As with that help of the Marine, it looks like the Reaper is forced back. The SCV is under fire, and the CC is going to be delayed. Will be delayed here for a time, but alas, with the help of the Hellion, it is going to be cleaned up, and now Nicaract can get back into his own production. Oh, I say that. Reinforcing Hellion does arrive. Oh, takes down the Reaper. Meanwhile, we do see Nicaract takes down the Hellion. A much better trade for the Red Terran. Very nicely done. Does take the trade. So we do see Nicaract now gaining ground, does push. Moving over towards the third. Up, going for the Hellion. The SCV does finish building up that CC, does complete, but despite that, 2 SCVs do go down. Hellion as well, and Nicaract, he dives into the main. Out of the Cyclones, they arrive just in time. They will shut this down. Nicaract still gets 4 SCVs. Oh, even getting up to 5? Well, not quite. They do dive into the CC. They're safe and sound. Nicaract has to back the hell off. And now we can embrace the mid-game. Milky Cow is continuing Cyclone production. Oh, is doubling down, going into more Cyclones, moving out with his medevac, going for a drop. But as Cyclones move out the Hellions, they come back. And they dive back in. They get a fresh mule. Massive pickup. More SCVs under fire, and Milky Cow does not turn around. He commits. He's dropping into the main base. What is there at home to defend? There's a Cyclone, there are some Marines, but alas, Nicaract, he misses the medevac. Barely does miss it. We'll get 3 SCV kills across the map. At the same time, Cyclones, they get 1. They get almost 2 SCVs. There we go, 2 workers do fall. They pick up a Cyclone as well. Yeah, very nice pickup. As Milky Cow does escape. As it all settles, Nicaract still has a worker lead. Still has that advantage. Milky Cow is not going down without a fight. Reinforcing with extra Cyclones, with extra medevacs. Quadruple Cyclone drop, let's go. One drop into the main, the other into the natural. Looking for a way in. The tank is in position though. Likewise, Marines, they can shut down these Cyclones. There's not really much room to kite back. Another tank has arrived. Tank has made it. See the chat. 1 to 10, that's how you casting at 4 AM. Amazing commitment. Mate, this is nothing, mate. The amount of 14 hour casts that we've done. Yo. We have the stamina, papi. We can go all night long. Oh, no. But, yeah, the most brutal cast we've done is EPT. Like, EPT 2022, like, era. 2023 into 2022. Back when we used to be the B stream for ESL Pro Tour, Taiwan, Hong Kong, into Oceania, into China, into Europe, into Latin America and North America. Back then, I mean, even in the most recent EPT season, basically you would have one day and then you'd have all the regions go through like their day one, then the next day all their regions go through day two. And we would be the B stream for every single region. Meanwhile, the main stream would rotate. The main stream, they would have like their set casters for like Oceania, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Then they'd have their casters for Europe. Then they'd have their casters for NA. Like they would rotate. Nah, we would commit. It was just me. And sometimes I'd have Yaku as well, or someone else would join me. But like 14-hour cast straight. Let's go. That's I think the most we've casted is like 16 hours at most. I think that's the most we've casted straight. I think that's the cap, either 14 or 16, one of the two. Oh my, the lockdown! The auto turrets get locked down, and Milky, he gets caught out. He is trying to escape, but alas, the Marines get shut down. Nikrak, he's on the chase, he's on the hunt, and he does punish Milky Cow quite hard. Alas, the tanks do escape though. Nikrak rotating around, trying to keep up, trying to outposition. Tank shot's gonna be going up. Big tank volleys on that first tank. As Nikrak, he does pick up a tank, not bad. Does get one. Vikings, they can land. They can and they will. Ooh, they get one of the tanks. They get both. Well, worth it. 2 Vikings for 2 tanks. And Milky Cow is down to 2 final tanks here. There's a Sable. Nikrak's within range. Milky Cow going for a desperation counterattack. There's not much at home to defend. This counterattack could get damage done. Sim is finishing up in 2 seconds for Milky Cow. Sim is finishing. He does go for the dive. Oh, and he goes for the tank, but the tank survives the repairs. Repairs a little bit too good. Nikrak, he holds. Defends the third base. Boys are being pulled to break out. The tanks are on their own. And Milky Cow, it looks like he should break out. Yeah, he will barely break out of this. If the Vikings landed, then they could have supported this, but alas, they did not. 11 SCVs fall, but Milky Cow holds. There we go. Now the Vikings land. A little bit late is what I will say. It was a little bit late there from Nikrak. Regardless, Nikrak, he has his third base. He's up 20 SCVs, or he's got 64 to the 47 of Milky Cow. Up in bases, up in workers, up in economy. And when it comes to the army supply, I mean, he has that lead as well. Nikrak looking secure. Now, there are ways to bounce back in TVT. As you can imagine, it's very much so positional based. You can try to catch your opponent unsieged, or you can try to bypass the army, get into a mineral line. There is drop potential here for Milky Cow as well. You know, we have seen time and time again in TVT, if a player is down 20, 30, 40 army supply, they can still recover. It is still possible. Not easy, but possible. We'll see if Milky Cow can pull off a miracle here. As Milky Cow pulls back. Go. And Nickrat, what I appreciate is that he's playing it safe. He's throwing down sensor towers. He's turtling up here with turrets. I mean, we have a turret line here. We have Vikings on patrol. I just mentioned how, like, there's, potential for drop play here for Milky Cow. Nickrat knows that, and he's ready for it. He's ready to just shut down drop play, and he's going for his own. Going for his own double drop into the main. Milky Cow looking for a way in. He's looking. Drop does come in. Now we're going for the eBay. We're looking to deny +2. And Nickrat, he does get it. He denies +2. Trades well against the Marines, but there is a tank in the back line. Nickrat does pick up. Just get the hell out of there. Bleeds out 3 Marines only. Still a good trade for the Red Terran. Black West double drops moving out towards the natural as well. And Milky Cow, he just cannot keep up. He's being pulled apart. Medevacs, they escape once again, and then he drops into the natural. There is a tank in position. Nicely done. Tank does zone away the drops. Nickrat going back into the main. Double drop unloading. And throughout all of this, Nickrat, he's just getting a 4th CC, his own 2-2. Once again, still out trading. Takes down every single Marine. SCVs thereafter. Can even try to go for the Vikings or even the tank. A bit ambitious. he backs off. Again, just getting whatever value he can. It's going to be a one-way trip. And here comes the main army. Here comes Nickrat's main force. What does he have? He's got 6 tanks, 4 Vikings. He has a Raven. He has a Disable. He has multiple Disables, actually. Who sieges first? Milky Cow does. Is going to be the first to siege. Vikings moving forward. They get a medevac. Nickrat looking for another way in. Does rotate around. Nickrat bypassing the main army. He's within range of the CC. At the same time, he drops into the natural, distracting his opponent. Tank bullies going up. We do see that Milky Cow is going to try to break out. He does commit. But alas, the Marine army here of Nickrat is just a little bit too much. He is not going to be able to get on top of the tanks, though. Okay, the siege line is going to be broken. Milky Cow barely breaking out. Forces back the Marines, gets on top of the tanks. And likewise, Milky Cow defends his natural. Again, we have these tanks here in the back line that weren't really adding to the fight. And Milky Cow, he fights well. Does fight well, does break out. Now the problem here though is that it did cost him all of his Marines. Like, he doesn't really have much left to support his army. Did maintain his tank count though. Speaking of, he's chasing down the final 2 tanks of Nickrat. 2 more tanks go down. But here come the reinforcements. Nickrat catching some transferring workers, diving on the main army. Tanks are late to siege here for Milky Cow. Decent tank blows going off though. But again, Nickrat, he's just containing Milky Cow. Meanwhile, he's getting his own 4th base. Is getting up and running. Oh my god. Again, the high tank in here of Milky Cow, it's carrying him here. But he can't be everywhere at once. Does take a bit of trade outside of his 3rd. But drop into the main, goes for more of these upgrades, more of these eBays. Milky Cow is stuck with 1-1, and that's a kill on the 2nd eBay as well. And even the armory. Ay, ay, ay. Nickrat, he's working on 3-3, and Milky Cow is stuck on 1-1. But again, it isn't the Marines that have been really holding on. It's been the tank count. As Milky Cow has got 9 tanks compared to the 3 of Nickrat. So very tank heavy. So despite the smaller army, I mean, Milky Cow's been holding his own. Nickrat, he's stimming in. He's diving. And the tanks, they're on their own. Where's the support? Where are the Marines? GG gets called, and Nickrat, he will tie up the series 1-1. Ooh, does take game 2. GG. GG, well played. Nickrat does tie things up 1-1. As a reminder, this is a best of 2, not a best of 3. So this is where the series ends. Congratulations to Nickrat and to Milky Cow as well for that back and forth showing. that back and forth showcase, and that means we can now dive into round 3. We can jump into round 3 here. And do we have any other updates? Quickly checking the brackets, the challenge. Quickly do check. Round 3 is getting underway. Looks like Replicant is getting his own match ready with UD Soldier. Young Yakov is getting ready with Milky Cow. But we know what we want. Up next is going to be Nicorette versus GG Machine. And predictions will be open for this one. We'll be opening up for this next series. Just messaging the players and letting them know. Also, I should emphasize as well, this right here is why you're my favorite streamer of choice. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you. We do appreciate it. I will be honest though, I did nap. I did have a nap after KSL. So we casted KSL earlier today. After KSL and before Elite League, I did sleep for, I want to say like 4 hours. I had like a 4-hour nap. 4-hour nap. And if you listen to the VOD of me casting Elite League, you could tell that I was a little bit groggy, especially at the start. I literally woke up 5 minutes before the cast. Like, I woke up, I was like, I checked the time, I checked my phone. And I like quickly like got onto the PC. I went live, washed my face, got some water. No food. We jumped into Elite League. Oh my god. It was intense. Our first series was Beyond vs. Down. Really great way to wake up and to jump into Elite League. I do recommend it. I do recommend checking out the VODs. It was a lot of good fun. For those who do not know, we just wrapped up with Elite League just before we came live here. We were casting over on Chijik, over on the Chijik platform. The VODs should be there. I know it takes a little bit for the VOD to process to become publicly available, but it was Elite League number 231. 231. And the VODs will be eventually on YouTube. It's going to take a couple of days. Usually it takes us like 3 days, like 2 to 3 days to upload everything to YouTube. But because we're casting so much this weekend, it's going to be a little bit delayed. I mentioned before, but usually I'd be rendering VODs right now, right? I'd be rendering the VODs, but we're still casting, so I can't render the VODs. So it's gonna take a little bit longer. So I do apologize for that, but we'll do our best to provide those VODs on YouTube as quickly as possible. But here we go. We are jumping into our next series. We're jumping into round 3 of Fire Grow Cup Group B, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the green Zerg player representing Team 3D Clan. It is a GG Machine. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicorette. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Play show bets, get your gamba going, as you can play show bets on who you think will claim this best of 2. As a reminder, this is a best of 2, so there are multiple kind of results here. It could be a 2-0 in either direction or a tied 1-1 score. There are going to be 3 options for predictions. Best of luck in the chat. Personally, this is a hard one to call. I do rate both of these quite highly. I do give the edge to Nicorette, but I can see GG Machine taking a game, so I'm leaning towards 1-1, but I can see Nicorette taking this 2-0. We'll see. I'm ready. I'm excited. Give us some StarCraft. Let's go. Let us go. As it is going to be a Hatchgas full standard opener out of GG Machine. Likewise, Nicorette going for the Rax Expand back at home as well. is going for the expand. Now, if you weren't here earlier for Nickrat versus Young Yakov, then Nickrat, he's a very aggressive player. He's very aggressive in this matchup. In game 1 between Nickrat and Young Yakov, Nickrat, he went 1-1-1 into a BC opener. Game 2, he went 1-1-1 into Banshee into a 2-base all-in. Went into a 2-base all-in, so just hyper aggression from Nickrat is what we expect. So we'll keep an eye on the third CC timing. That's going to be the big tell, the big sign for Nickrat. Meanwhile, the Reaper does move out, does hit the natural. Lings are keeping up. So far, so good. No major losses. We can see GG Machine trying to expand here linearly towards that left-hand base. Meanwhile, Nickrat, he does trade against the Lings, gets one. One Ling goes down, going for the transferring worker as well. So nice little pickoffs here and there, nothing too major. Marine is in position to deny the scouts, and it looks like we are getting ready here for the starport. Yep, there it is. Starport has been thrown down. So Nickrat is going for a very aggressive build. Once again, Nickrat, he chooses to delay his third CC. Meanwhile, oh my god, that's an insanely fast lair. They're crazy. Okay. So on the one hand, Nickrat is going into a 1-1-1. This is going to be either a BC or a Banshee base opener. Tech Lab is on the way on the rank, so this should be an add-on swap into Banshee production. Meanwhile, the fast lair, this could be a couple different things. This could be 2-ace Muta. This could be extra gases, and gas is still being mined, so this could be the beginning of 2-ace Muta, or this could be a Ling Queen Nidus all-in. Oh boy. The queen count is getting higher and higher. There's no third expansion, extractor trick, no extra gases. I'm leaning towards Nidus, but we'll see. As GG Machine, he is activating his overlords. They are being active. They are maneuvering. Dropper-Lord. Okay, not Nidus Worm, but with Overlord speed, should be Dropper-Lords. Should be Dropper-Lords here to move out across the map. It is going to be a Ling Queen, not Nidus all-in, Ling Queen, Dropper-Lord all-in. A variation of German Taxi. Now, thankfully for Nickrat, if he had gone for a third TC, if he had gone for a more economic opener, he'd be in trouble. Because of this 1-1-1, because Nickrat was being aggressive himself, it means he has extra Hellions, it means he's going to have Banshees as well. He's going to be well set up for this. He will have an army. Not saying he will defend and he will shut this down, but he has the tools to defend. He has the capability of surviving against this. Ooh, the Banshee does move out across the map though. Banshee moves out, Dropper-Lord getting in position. Dropper-Lord through the center as well. And if the Banshees are out of position, then, I mean, GG Machine, he can still make this work. It's going to be close though. It's going to be close. Banshee still committing. Back at home, there's nothing to defend. That is a lot of Hellions, though. The Queens have a lot of work to do. Dropper-Lord is spotted. Bunkers on the way. Nickrat knows. Nickrat, he's racing back home. The Banshee turns back around. Hellions, they trade well against the Lings. Queens are here to wreak havoc. Dropper-Lord's into the main, trying to distract his opponent, trying to catch his opponent out of position. When there is detection, there is that Overseer. The Hellions, they trade well against the Lings. Ooh, workers are going down to the main though. SCVs are falling. The Queens are running out of transfused energy. They get one of the Banshees, and it looks like Nickrat, he defends his natural. But what about the main? The main base, he loses everything. Ay, ay, ay. See, this Queen push was a distraction, and the main base is non-existent. 26 SCVs. That's going to be a forced cancel, almost a forced cancel on the eBay. The Lings, they do load up. No anti-air. When the wall has been broken, Lings are dropping into... Oh, this is a bit of a waste. They're dropping into the mineral line, but Hellions, they roast up the Lings. One Queen goes down. Massive pickoff. Does GG Machine have enough? He's done some good damage, but breaking these Hellions is not easy. It's not easy, and it's not happening. Nickrat, he's holding. He does hold, but after losing all those SCVs, quickly checking, 26 SCV kills. Can GG Machine macro? He has a third. He has a third expansion. The Queens are racing back home. Two of them at least. Two of them died. Two of them do make it back. I love the spreading creep from the halfway mark back home as well. Is spreading creep backwards. And GG Machine from here will macro. He will macro up. Meanwhile, Nickrat has some catching up to do. Now, at least Nickrat still has a Banshee. He still has maintained most of his Hellions, but he has to repair. He has to repair, then he can move out. And then he can threaten these mineral lines. He can threaten the main base, the natural, the third. He can soon be active once again. Meanwhile, Stim is done. 1-1 is heavily delayed, though, for Nickrat. Nickrat, he's also on 3 Raxes. I don't see a third CC. Nickrat can turn this into a 2-base all-in. And suddenly, if GG Machine is too greedy, if he drones up past 3-base saturation, I'm talking 70 drones. If he gets up to 70 plus workers, then Nickrat could kill it. If GG Machine is too greedy. But now he's taking gases, double Eva Chamber, double upgrades, bailing speed, getting a 4th base, that's fine for Larva. Is somewhat droning. And again, I think this is still okay for GG Machine. He's still on, you know, an acceptable range of workers. Oh, he's droning up more though. He's getting up to 69. Nice, 69 drones, but that's quite a bit. He's getting a nut. He's making more. Oh, he's droning up. He's droning up a little bit harder. And he's taking Hydrogen and Infestation, but he's taking up into Hive Tech. Very greedy. Very greedy here by GG Machine. Obviously, if he gets away with it, then he snowballs out of control and he wins. But I mean, the game isn't going to last that long. Again, as I mentioned before, Nickrat is all in. Nickrat, he's completely all in. And GG Machine, what is his ground army? 20 Lings. 0 Bailings. 0 Bailings are ready for this. And here we go, Nickrat, he does commit. He's catching out the Queens. Yeah, 1, 2 Queens going down. GG Machine, 16 Bailings are morphing in, but they just started. He needs time. GG Machine, he needs time here for the Bailings. Queens are under fire. They're being targeted down. And Nickrat, does he spot the Bailings? Not quite. Doesn't spot them yet. Bailings, they morph in. And with these Bailings, GG Machine, he can hold on. The Bailings are ready. The Lings, they go for a counterattack with their reinforcements back at home. Nickrat, he gets distracted for a moment. Does defend. Gets 9 drone kills. He's within range of the 4th. I do think that he could have maybe tried to have been a little bit more assertive here and gone into the mineral line. Speaking of Hellions, they do roast up some drones. A good pickups here by Nickrat. Gets 4 more drones. Oh, the transfer is too soon. And we do see GG Machine a little bit premature with that transfer. Tanks are gaining ground. Ling Pain diving in, but they're stuck behind the Queens. Oh my god. The Queens, they're so thick. They block off the Ling Bane. And Nickrat, he's still gaining ground. He's still out trading his opponent. Again, there is no third behind this. There is no economy. GG Machine going for a Ling run by. I mean, this can help catch reinforcements. But it's the main army that I'm concerned by. There we go. He does get on top of the production. Does get into the mineral line. SCVs is going down. I mean, Nickrat, he was already all in, and GG gets called. Nickrat, he taps out, and GG Machine takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Nickrat, again, after losing that natural base, he does lose all hope in succeeding with his all-in. Likewise, he was also taking too long. True, he was also taking a little bit too long to actually get on top of that expansion. As time progressed, it was getting better and better for GG Machine. It was close though. I mean, Nickrat, he had potential with that push. He had potential with that counterattack. He did good damage. Unfortunately, he needed more, right? Unfortunately, he needed more damage there. And with that, GG Machine takes the lead. But that was a crazy game. that was crazy. Yeah. Let's go. Sneaky nap, did you set the alarm or did you self-wake up in the frantic way where you're not sure if you overslept or not? I woke up, I self-woke, so, okay, kind of. So, my alarm woke me up like half an hour before the cast, and I woke up, I was like, yeah, I woke up, I was good, and then I did that thing where I just went back to sleep. So, the alarm woke me up ahead of time, and then I passed out, and then I woke up myself, which is where I checked. It was like, oh no. So, was fortunate that I woke up in time for Elite League. Was fortunate. Was just a little bit sleep deprived, and yeah, it's all good though. It's all good. I'm content with my cast regardless for the first series. The rest of it, of course, I was wide awake. But now we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player representing Team 3D Clan, leading the series 1-0. It is GG Machine. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. Down in the series, we'll see if he can recover and tie things up. It is Nickrat. Here we go. Again, a very intense game one. Very intense. We had Nickrak setting up for an all-in. We had GG Machine being the first to strike. And GG Machine, who was able to cripple the economy. He was able to just force the all-in. We saw that GG Machine was being too greedy. He was taking up into Hive, taking up into Hydras, tech that did not come into play in the defense. But with the Ling roundbuys, with the Ling counterattacks, he was able to cripple Nickrak and just really strip away any kind of momentum or any kind of sustainability that Nickrak had in that all-in. And with that, we're now getting into game two. And now my eyes are on both players. I mean, I expect aggression out of Nickrak, but clearly GG Machine is not afraid to be aggressive as well. He's not afraid. No fear. No fear here for GG Machine. It's crazy. As we are just setting up, we are just going to be expanding. Nickrak going for a Rax Expand, likewise Hatch Gas Pool out of GG Machine. Really, it's the follow-up. As a reminder, I think it was around like the 3-minute 40 mark where GG Machine started up his lair. It's just a really early lair timing. So our eyes are going to be on the Zerg. Gonna be on the Zerg here. Likewise, Nickrak, does he go for another 1-1-1 build? Does he go into BCs this time? Does he go into Banshee again? Nickrak, his initial build last game was disrupted because of the all-in, so he might feel like, you know what, I want to get into my build regardless. We're on Golden Aura, one of the larger maps in the map pool, a longer rush distance by ground. Maybe Nickrak feels more comfortable, you know, getting away and just getting into his mid game. Meanwhile, the Reaper does poke in. Gets one Link so far. Rotates around. Creep Tumor gets placed. Nickrak, he does not get the tumor. Takes a bit too much damage. And GG Machine does hold. Meanwhile, the factory is done, and yep, 1-1-1. Once again, we're going for a delayed third CC. Once again, it's going to be a 1-1-1 into Starport. We should be seeing, yep, a Tech Lab into an add-on swap. This could still be BCs, or it could be Banshee once again. Overlord Scout from GG Machine will confirm the lack of third command center. So he's aware of the more aggressive build. He's aware of the potential of Banshee or even Battle Cruiser. He's aware. Now I'm curious what Nickrak does after the Overlord dies. After it goes down, where does he head? What direction does he take us in? So the Overlord does fall. Okay, just add-on swap, Banshee. Right, add-on swap should be Banshee production from Nickrak. There it is, Banshee's on the way alongside Cloak. Now, does Nickrak set up for a 2-base all-in, or does he go for a delayed expansion? He has options. Does have options here. Meanwhile, GG Machine is making a lot of Lings. Oh my god. I just realized 16 Lings on the way. That's quite a lot here. More than you would otherwise need to defend against some Hellions. But GG Machine, he's droning, so it looks like just really safe play. Really safe play here by GG Machine. He can obviously counterattack with this as well. But it looks like maybe he's a little bit paranoid of a Hellion dive. Speaking of, no more Hellion production. Okay, only 6. Only 6 Hellions. Nickrak instead setting up for his Raxes. There we go. We have additional Raxes on the way. Only 6 Hellions, so there's not too much dive potential for Nickrak, or not as much as he otherwise could have. And with this earlier add-on swap, it looks like earlier Marines. And I'm feeling 2-base all-in. Yeah, still no third. No third base whatsoever. I'm leaning towards that 2-base all-in. Could even hit with Hellbats. Yep, 1-1 is on the way with those double eBays. We saw this against Young Yakov. We actually saw this in game 2. As the Banshee does hit the main, gets 3 drone kills. Spore was a couple of seconds too late. Nicely done here by Nickrak. Gets 3 drones. So a very nice start. Hellions, they take down the tumor. To catch the creep tumor, rotating around. Almost getting another tumor as well. Going for the queen, actually. Attempting to. The Lings get roasted. Banshees, they rotate over. They find a fourth expansion, and it's going to be denied. Creep is receding. GG Machine, he's in a bit of trouble here. Hellions going for a dive. Uh-oh. Oh, they waste a volley on the Baneling nest, though. You know, the queens, they do preserve that hatchery. They do keep it alive. But what's important here is that the Hellion Banshee is just keeping the Zerg player busy. Oh my god, they light up 8 drones. 8 drones go down. All the Lings get roasted. And they're lining up. Oh, they are lining up. He wants them. Doesn't quite get them. But still, 8 workers is not bad. And now Nickrat, he's getting ready for his push. 1-1 is almost done. It's past the halfway mark. And once it kicks in, Nickrat, he's going to move out. He's going to move out with, I believe, 2 tanks. Maybe 3. But at least 2 tanks, Master Marine, Stim, Combat Shields, 1-1. Medevac soon to arrive as well. And GG Machine, he's now confirming no third. And he should not join. He's up to 64 workers. This is a decent worker count to stop at. As the Banshee hits the main. But more than anything, GG Machine, he needs Link Bane. Needs as much Link Bane as possible. Army's moving out. Oh, the crab. He's scuttling. Army is revealed by the Overlord. Banshee's hoping to distract here on the right-hand side. Here we go. It's all or nothing for Nickrat. He will at least get the 4th, but this is not good enough. He needs more. He needs more than just a 4th base. Base does go down. Nickrat pushing forward. He's pushing into how many? There are 18 Banelings and 47 Lings. GG Machine going for a Ling run by. Up of the wall is solid. And nice defense here by Nickrat. The wall does not go down. Lings, they turn around here for a surround. 3rd tank has arrived. Liberation as well. The freedom is here. He has freedom. Dust him in. We do see GG Machine, he does collapse in forward. Banelings from behind, Banelings from the front as well. Nice spread by Nickrat. Does he have enough Marines? He does. He shuts down the Ling Bane. There's 1 tank left and he can keep pushing. Are there any Banelings remaining? 0. There's 0 Banelings left. This is Nickrat's time to shine. Breaks through the front door. Gets into the middle line. Target fires the Banelings. 1 Baneling is left. That's not going to be enough. No shot. 1 Baneling finishes. Oh, never mind. Goes down to the tank. And it looks like Nickrat has done it. He has broken the back of GG Machine. There's 6 more Banelings on the way. Hydras as well. Hydras are not going to help. Not here. They do take down some of the Liberators, to be fair. But they don't do well here against the Marines. Banelings do finish up. They do not connect. And Nickrat, again, he has done it. He's broken his back. GG gets called. Nickrat will tie up the series 1-1 against GG Machine. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was just a straight up 2-base all-in out of Nickrat. This is the outcome that Nickrat was hoping for in game 1 as well, is to gain momentum, is to force a bad fight, is to slowly edge closer towards the expansion. Alas, he was unable to pull that off in the first game just because of, how much chaos there was of the Ling run-bys, Ling counterattacks. We saw that this game, GG Machine did attempt a Ling run-by, but this time, Nickrat was ready. This time, Nickrat hit a full wall at his natural. He did not allow any Lings in. And because of that, he could sustain himself, could reinforce, and could keep the all-in going. GG. GG, well played, as we are tied up 1-1. And the question becomes, where are we headed from here? Where are we going? Oh boy, let's find out. Let us find out as we head on over, as we switch our scenes, and catch up on the group. Catch up on the group here. Huh. Scrolling down, we do have all of round 3 wrapping up. Oh my god, I was not expecting that. But it looks like our series was a little bit longer here. Young Yakov takes down Milky Cat 2-0. Nickrat and GG Machine, of course, 1-1. UD Soldier and Replicants going 1-1 as well. And that means that round 4 is underway. Oh boy, it's going to be GG Machine versus Young Yakov, Nickrat versus Replicant, or Milky Cat versus UD Soldier. I'll be honest. Is UD Soldier in game? I think he is. Yeah. Ooh, okay, so it looks like they are casting Milky Cat versus UD Soldier. Looks like they are covering that series. I wanted that. I wanted Milky Cat versus UD Soldier, not gonna lie. That's what I wanted here in round 4. So unfortunately, we're gonna miss out on that, but we can dive into something different. I'll be honest, I'm leaning more towards the ZVZ between Machine and Young Yakov. And it looks like we are jumping into that. Oh my god. Just very quickly, it looks like the video's already done. That was real fast. But the videos are done, and we are jumping into round number 4. It is going to be that ZVZ, and we're jumping into game 1. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Zerg player. Oh, at one point, he was young. Now, apparently, at 20 years old, he's old, papi. It is Young Yakov. Smooch. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. It's just me. Is this green a little bit darker? We have his opponent. We have the green Zerg player representing 3D Clan. It is GG Machine. Here we go. We are just jumping right on in. Whew. And again, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Get your gamba going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on this best of 2. As a reminder, this is a best of 2, not a best of 3. That is why the previous series did conclude with a 1-1 tied score. So tied scores are possible here. Doesn't just have to be a 2-0. Could be 1-1. So best of luck in the chat. Otherwise, we can embrace it. Can embrace it. Here we go. And so now, hatch first. Looks like hatch gas pool. Yep, hatch gas pool from both Yakov and Machine. Standard openers for the time being. We'll see if either one does skip their Bailey nest, if they decide to stay in gas, if they decide to go throw down an early Evo chamber as well. We shall see. We shall see. Catching with chat. Nickrat seems very all in. It wasn't all in, straight up. It was a 2-base all in from Nickrat. As we did mention, because of the lack of third base for a long time. Here we go. For now, we do have link speed on the way for both players. We're going to be joining up, saturating our naturals. So far, so good. No ties allowed in chat. Thorn, the auto mod flagged your comment for 3-way. Because you said 3-way tie. Auto mod was saying 3-way. Not in the Ducklings chat. Oh no. Only 4 or more. Not like this. Ay ay ay. It's okay, I allowed the comment. It's all good. Ay ay ay. Well, for the time being, we are setting up. Overlord goes down. Nice pick off here by Young Yakov. Will supply block GG Machine. Behind this, Bayless is on the way for both players. Third bases as well. So everyone is playing standard. Everyone is playing standard. Outside of the fact that GG Machine just lost an Overlord, everything's looking as it should. We have extra drones on the way for Yakov. Extra Turns are on the way. So no one being hyper aggressive. The Lings are poking in, but it looks like we're going to be entering Roach Ravager. Yeah, looks like we're entering the Roach phase of ZVZ. Just no major aggression, no big Ling Bane fights. Roach Horns are being taken, and there's no Ling Surge here from either player. Welcome to European ZVZ. I feel spoiled. We were casting a lot of ZVZs earlier in Elima League. Elima League 230. We casted like 3 ZVZs in a row. We casted Rogue versus... Who was it? I think it was Rogue versus Shin, then Shin versus Solar, and then Shin versus Dark. We casted 3 ZVZs in a row. And it was pure chaos, mate. Like this did not happen at all. In any of those 3 best of 3s, this did not happen. We had just pure Ling Bane aggression, Roach all ins, solos like +1 carapace, like Ling Ravager all in as well, just like non-stop. It's crazy, like 12 pulls. Here we're just calming things down and getting into roaches. Like this is a more, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Above the belt ZVZ, you know? Yeah. Prim and proper. We're macroing, making roaches. Even this move out is a fake out. This is a fake move because Yakov is droning. Yakov is droning, so is GG Machine. Really, Yakov, he's moving out with this army to try to force an overreaction, and he should be turning back around. He should just be turning back around from here. He shouldn't commit. As he has arrived. I mean, hey, Bailings are morphing in, true. But, yeah, we have to be careful here. Yakov, he does engage with the fight. Does trade pretty well, actually. Bailings, they're making their way to the mineral line. And does he get in? Bailings, they do. The drones are going to be going down. That's 2 worker kills. From here, young Yakov should be deflected. Remember, he's been droning. I'm just shocked he actually attacked. That's what I'm shocked by. And he trades well. Gets the queen. Does get a queen. Does get a second queen as well. Pretty good value. 7 roaches to 7 roaches, gets 2 queens. Overall, this was a better trade for Yakov. He also got a couple of workers, bear that in mind. And from here, we can calm things down. Young Yakov, he does have an economic advantage, but where's the army? Roaches are on the way, but GG Machine does arrive a little bit sooner. Young Yakov, he does pull away. Does pull away from the 3rd, but now he's stuck in a 2-base economy, and GG Machine, can he go for the expansion? Does catch a couple of transferring, or does catch a couple of morphing in roaches. Does punish them. Oh, and GG Machine even diving on the main army. Doesn't quite get the strat he was hoping for. Not quite. But he does get the 3rd. I said he does get, there we go. With the transfuse though. Up. Oh my god. Hatchery goes out. GG Machine, he gets the hell out of there. And this is why, young Yakov, you don't commit. Like, he did get 2 queens, sure, but was that really worth losing a base? The answer is no. This is now a better position for GG Machine. He's up in economy, up in bases, up in production, 4th base on the way as well. He has triggered a counterattack. Young Yakov, he is committed. But alas, he's pushing into spine crawlers. You can see GG Machine is ready for the all-in. Because young Yakov pulls away, GG Machine, it might be worth canceling these spines. Yep, there we go. Does cancel. And instead, young Yakov is going into Spire plays, going into Mutas. Mutas are on the way. Yeah, gentlemen ZVZ. Here we go. There was only 1 Zerg in Elima League this week. There were 2 Elima Leagues this week. For 230 is what I'm referring to. Elima League number 230 is when we casted all the ZVZs. Elima League 231, which was a couple of hours ago, we did cast Solar, but yes, the most recent Elima League earlier tonight did not have Dark or Shin, only Solar. And Rex as well. Solar and Rex. But we did cast Solar's matches. Just because I wanted to cover the Zerg players while I could for the Elima League that was earlier today. Meanwhile, Lings, they do get across the map. They do force a cancel. Very nice. They force a cancel here on the expansion. Do You see Yakov sustaining himself here, building back up on 2 bases. Despite the fact that Yakov, he has had a more hindered economy, and he, has been on 2 bases and still struggling to get a third, the Mutas at least give him some breathing room. The Mutas, they have arrived, they shut down some of these workers, they go for the queens, and they're just allowing Yakov to build up his roach count. So far, so good. As the Mutas, they do rotate. They do rotate, they hit the expansion. That's going to be another 2 or 3 drones going down. Oh my god. This is stacking up. Yeah, this is building up over time, and now you can see Yakov gaining a supply lead, building on more roaches. GG Machine forced to invest into Hydra. And these Mutas, they're winning young Yakov this game. They're doing well for himself. And now he pushes. That's pushing right down mid. Does push to the center. Yakov going for the Roach Horn. Roach Horn goes down. Massive pickup. The Machine trying to keep up. Is trying. The Mutas still were doing well for themselves. In total, 14 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. 14 workers have fallen. GG Machine has had enough defending. He's trying to break out. But the piles. Again, Roach Ravager can be much more efficient than Roach Hydra. That all does change once Lurkers come into play. And the question becomes, GG Machine, does he have to embrace Lurker production? Potentially. Infestation bit is done, so we can go into his hive. But now trading with the Roach Ravager. Does avoid the biles. Stutter stepping forward. And getting some of these mainlings as well. Young Yakov, he is maxed. There's the Lurker Den. Lurker Den's on the way. But GG Machine, he still needs more time. Does need more time. As Yakov, he dives on the army files. They still don't quite connect. It does shave off a lot of roaches. Trying to get on top of the Hydras. Hydras are looking that much more exposed. Biles, well, they do connect. GG Machine being forced back. Lurker Den is almost done. It's getting there. GG Machine, he still needs a little bit more time to get into his Lurker attack. Hive is also almost done. Gas Geyser goes down. Yakov pushing through the left-hand side. The Lurker Den. Almost. There it is. Show us the Lunkers. There it is. Lurkers. There are 7 Lurkers on the way. They're now morphing in. Meanwhile, we do see young Yakov. He's maxed out with Lingbane Roach Ravager. And if the Lurkers can be in position, GG Machine, he can take the fight. Does burrow in time. Ooh, a little bit late to burrow, what I will say. A little bit. Oh, Biles, they take down one of those Lurkers already. But the others do burrow. Biles going to be connecting. Bailings, they crash into the Hydras, and it looks like young Yakov, he brute forces his way through. Takes down all the Lurkers. Breaks through the Hydras. Sorry, breaks through the Roaches. Does get on top of the Hydras in the end. And Yakov, it looks like he has done it. He breaks through the front line. Again, the Lurkers are barely not ready in time. They took a little bit too long to actually siege, to burrow, to get in position. It was close. It was oh so close. Lurker range is now about to finish after the Lurkers go down. The damage has been done. GG Machine down to 49 drones. Does force back the Roach Ravager. Does catch all the Ravagers in the end. Not bad. But Yakov maintains that supply lead. And after sniping all those Hydras, now it's time for the Mutas once again. It's time for the Muta party. Mutas, they have returned. GG. And young Yakov will take game number 1. GG. Again, a bit of a more passive start to the game. We did have both players, just getting past Lingbane, getting into Roach play, more of a European ZVZ, which it's been a while since I've actually embraced that. It's been a while since I've casted, like Lambo versus the Laser, or some of these other European Zerg players. Been a while, been a couple of months, actually. But regardless, young Yakov, he was able to do quite well with his mutas. He was able to just keep the opposing Zerg player pinned back at home, trade well, pick off 14 drones, likewise get full scouting information, force a transition to Hydras, and we saw that GG Machine, he was working towards a greater tech, a greater army, he was working towards lurkers, but he got there maybe a little bit too late. Again, just as the lurkers morphed in, that's when the push came, and we saw that the lurkers, they did take a couple of extra seconds to actually burrow and get in position. Did take a little bit too long there, and alas, in the end, we saw that young Yakov was able to just dive in and get on top of the lurkers. Was able to get on top of them in time, able to shut them down. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Meanwhile, a shout out to SC2 full in the chat. Papi Ga, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. And I hope you have been enjoying your high mess sausage. GG, GG, and welcome one and all to the Firegrow Cup number 4. This is a monthly tournament featuring many players from the European region, from the CIS region, and we are here in the group stage. We're here in a round-robin format, Group B, and we're nearing the end of the broadcast. We do have two rounds left. We're here in round 4, and then we have round 5 thereafter, but we're jumping into game 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkyone. We have the red Zerg player. He was once young, but now he has lost his innocence. He has lost his hope, his dreams, his happiness. He's now old, and he's 12 pooling. It makes sense. It is young Yakov. Now going by old Yakov, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the green Zerg player. We have representing 3D Clan, the young up-and-comer. We'll see if he can bounce back in the series. It is GG Machine. Here we go. As GG Machine is going hatch first, so it's going to be a hatch gas pool, standard opener out of our Zerg player. Meanwhile, young Yakov, he's going for the 12 pool, but not just that. Is it a 12 pool drone pool? Oh boy. Does young Yakov, does he commit? As I don't see an expansion, and there should be. Show us the other boys. Are the boys back in town? No, he's expanding. Okay. He is going to be expanding. Never mind. Sixlings are on the way. Young Yakov, he is going to be going for the expand, which means this is not an all-in. And the hatchery has been placed. Now, the goal here of a 12 pool, this is technically a macro build. The goal here is to kill, like, 2 drones. The goal is to kill 2 workers to force the boys being pulled off the mineral line as well, to force some delayed mining time, and then to get into the mid-game. This does lead into 2-base roach. The reason why this leads into 2-base roach is because there's no gas. Your gas is very late, so you're going to be behind in link speed and behind in banelings. So you just skip link bane and you go straight into roaches. For now, though, the lings have arrived. And again, their goal here is to try to make up for your lack of workers. Lings, they poke away at the natural. This natural should not die. It should not go down. GG Machine, there we go. He does pull the boys. Now, it's all about worker micro. GG Machine has to be very careful not to lose too many drones. Oh, so far, 2 of the workers get caught out. A rough start. They don't go down, though. They are pulled away. And again, it's all about buying time for the lings, for the queens. The queens are in production. The lings, they meet up with the drones. The drones are very low, but not a single worker has gone down yet. But I spoke too soon. Up. 1 drone falls. It's going to be 1 drone kill. That's going to be a 2nd drone kill. And I think a 3rd, and this is getting out of hand. This is becoming far too much. Oh my god. The lings go down. The drones go down. Too many losses. The queen gets surrounded. And again, you could argue here that we maybe did underreact from the side of GG Machine. That was 6 drone kills. That is far too much. And young Yakov, he can even go for another queen. He can, and he will. He's going to try to lock it down. More boys are being pulled. But the damage has been done. Oh, he gets another drone. He gets another worker. I mentioned before that ideally young Yakov, he wanted like 2 or 3 drones. He got 7. He got 7 workers. That is far too much damage. And now look at the worker count. Look at the disparity here. 23 to 13. GG Machine is all in. He is completely all in at this point. There's no use droning. At this point, there's no use droning. He's too far behind. He has to go for the all-in. Back at home, all young Yakov needs to do is wall. He needs to wall up and wall off. He has 3 queens, which is good, but he needs some SimCity here. Drone is getting in position. Lings have arrived. Yeah, no SimCity. He does give up on the natural. He does wall off at the ramp instead. does wall off at the ramp. The boys are here with their whole position micro. GG Machine is going for the expansion, trying to drag the army out of position. But good movement here from Yakov. He pulls back to the ramp, pulls back to the choke point, pulls away the drones. Do we have a transfuse? There is. There's one transfuse. Barely not another. The Lings, they're breaking through. They got one queen. Up, up. More Lings have arrived. Just barely. And GG Machine is still just rallying across the map. But the queens hold. The queens do hold. Baneling Nest on the way. Young Yakov getting to his own Ling speed in this kind of game state. Young Yakov is still up 10 workers. He still has a massive economic lead. No innocence in the 12 pool. True, true. Not like this. Nice catch here by GG Machine. Does get a couple of Lings. Goes for the surround of the queen. Gets a queen as well. Not bad. Does get a queen. Is being chased down. Likewise, Young Yakov is getting ready for his counterattack. He is pushing. And here come the Banelings as well. Now, with this Ling flood from GG Machine, he can still wreak havoc. He does overwhelm. He has a massive amount of Lings. Young Yakov, he's in trouble. He has to pull back. No defensive Banelings. The boys have to be pulled. Oh, but Young Yakov, he does drone drill quite well. Yeah, the Banelings, looks like 2 of them are denied. 1 Baneling is going to be denied as well, but the queen pops out. Young Yakov, he defends. GG gets called. Yakov defends, and Yakov will take the series 2-0. Whew. GG. GG, well played. That was a much more aggressive variation of 12 pool. We saw that Young Yakov, he didn't make just the initial wave of Lings. He made extra Lings behind it. Because of that, GG Machine, he did fight a little bit too soon. He also did not have enough workers to fight head-on with his Lings. He was overwhelmed. GG Machine, he was overwhelmed. Remember, he lost 7 drones. 7 drones went down. That there was game-ending damage. Those 7 worker kills. And we saw that GG Machine, he had potential with the counter all-in. We saw that he was killing queens. He was killing queens. He was trading against the Lings. But he had no longevity. He had no longevity in that series. Or in that game, I should say. And with that, GG well played. That wraps up our round 4 match. And the question becomes, is that all of round 4 finishing? Let's find out. Well, what's going on? What is going on? Ooh, okay, so it looks like we have some updates here. Actually, I think this was the I mean, it makes sense. This was the fastest series. I think this was the fastest series. I think the other round 4 matches are still ongoing. Question mark? Let's see here. Okay, they're not. Milky Cow takes down UD Soldier 2-0. I think Nickrat is still mid-series versus Replicant. Otherwise, we might just get an update there as well. Might just get an update. If that's the case, and if we're getting into the final series, what is there left? There is UD Soldier versus Nickrat. There is Young Yakov versus Replicant, and Milky Cow versus GG Machine. Oh boy, what do we want? That's a hard one. We did cast Milky Cow earlier. We haven't casted Replicants, but when it comes to that series, actually, Replicants were doing really well. No, okay. Okay, my apologies. Yeah, he's been doing really well here. Going 1-1 with UD Soldier, but he 2-0 GG Machine. He did 2-0 Milky Cow as well. So, Young Yakov versus Replicant. I'm interested. I am interested in that series. Hold on, let's all have a look together here. Now, looking at the Group B. Looking at Group B, as it looks like the lobbies are setting up. What is that final series? Nickrat versus UD Soldier? Question mark? Or versus Replicant? Okay, Replicant. Okay. But Nickrat versus Replicant is still ongoing. Okay. And we have to jump in. But yeah, Replicant, he's actually doing quite well for himself here. He is second. He's coming in second place. Young Yakov is confirmed to make it through. But I mean, I haven't been able to cast any of Replicant's matches. Now we can focus on this. We can jump on in. We can focus on Replicant versus Nigrat, and followed by Young Yako versus Replicant as well. Let's go. I was looking at maybe covering UD Soldier Nigrat. Like that sounds like a lot of fun, but nah, we'll go for Replicants. He's the only player we haven't casted. Give him some love. Give him some love. Let's go. I just need a moment to set things up and to get things going. Un momento here, un momento. Okay, here we go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the red Terran player. Down in the series, by the way, we are jumping into game number 2. We have the red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nigrat. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player from the land of Kazakhstan representing CSO Esports. It is Replicant. And Replicant, he has been performing very well here tonight. He took down Milky Cow 2-0, GG Machine 2-0. He did go for a tied series against UED Soldier, and now he is here against Nigrat. This is his 4th match of the night, and he is up 1-0. Let's go. Let us go. Sorry, I'm just setting up the match. I'm just setting things up. Here we go. And I'm more than happy to follow this into Young Yakov series versus Replicant, especially considering the Replicant, he has been performing very well here. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised that he 2-0 GG Machine. That is the one series I'm surprised by. The others, you know, they do make sense to me, but that does tell me that Replicant clearly is in form, and I want to see him against the Zerg matchup, but even more so here in the Terran matchup as well. We missed out on game 1, but we are here to conclude the series at least. That does also mean that we have 2 series left in the broadcast. We have 2 series left. We have this one, Replicant and Nigrat, and we also have Replicant and Young Yakov thereafter. So just 2 series remaining. And then it's not veg time. Then it is time to get some food, and then it is time to edit to Lima League. Edit all the VODs. All the VODs. As the Reapers, they do clash. We do see Nigrat, he shoots first. Nigrat does shoot first, and he will take down the Reaper. He will delay the CC. And that's a big win for Nigrat already. But he does back off, though. He is aware of the timing. He does not delay the command center. Unfortunately, he has to retreat here. He has to meet up with the second Reaper, and then he can turn back around. Then he can try to fight for control of the low ground. So now just regenerating his HP. Back at home, settling into his own expansion. We are settling in. At this point, he's missed his timing. The Cyclone is soon to arrive, so with the Cyclone, Replicant, he should be safe. He should be fine. Should be able to defend. We're getting into our 1-1-1s, getting into the mid-game. So far, so good. So far, so good. I won't be doing predictions for this, just because... Oh. We're already halfway through. But there will be some final predictions for the final series of the night. We'll be holding on to that. As Nigrat, he has arrived. He does not quite get here in time to delay the command center. Barely not. We do see that Replicant, he is doubling down, getting into additional Cyclone production. He's on 2, soon to be a 3rd Cyclone behind this. Reaper goes down. Oh, gets 1, gets 2. Nice pickups. Nigrat gets punished for the dive. There's going to be 2 Reapers. Now we do see the double Cyclone medevac drop across the map. It is going to be spotted. They do spot each other, I should say. And Replicant, he can shut this down. As he does commit. Let's commit. Back at home, we do have our tank production, our 1-1-1 setup into Ravens. Likewise, Replicant actually going for an earlier Liberator. This is a little bit different. This is a little bit odd. Okay. The Liberator is on the way. Replicant, he does threaten to dive. Oh, doesn't quite get the depot. Bit almost, not quite. As it does come in from behind. Gets into the mineral line. 2 SCV kills, not bad. Does get 2 SCVs. Just see Replicant coming in from behind. He's going for the natural. Alas, this time Nickrat is ready for it. And this time he's in position and he will get a kill on... Oh, he gets the medevac, but he loses the Raven. That was not worth it. That was not worth it for Nickrat. Massive pick off. Replicant, he gets the Raven. Gets a couple of workers. Oh, at the same time, though, it looks like Replicant did end up losing his Liberator. Looks like it was rallied in and did go down. Less than ideal. Oh, no. God damn it. I knew there was a reason why I was avoiding this TBT. Ay. It looks like we might be here for a while. Do you see what I see? Factory. It's going to be mech. It's going to be mech here by Replicant. So it's going to be Biotank from our red Terran player and mech from our blue Terran instead. It's going to be tank Viking production here from Replicant. And we'll see if Nickrat can break this. We'll see if he can stop this from really turtling up, from Replicant from really solidifying himself here back at home. From securing himself. We shall see. As Nickrat, he does push. His goal here is to deny the third base, maybe even pick up some of these tanks. He's on 3 Raven. Raven kind of quite high. Tank bully going up. Ooh, is within range. Ah, brutal pickup. 1 tank goes down. Rough start for Nickrat. But at least he does deny the third. And he should be getting his own. Meanwhile, that's a hefty tank army. Massive tank bully goes off, and Nickrat gets the hell out of here. Wants none of this. Will pull away. Likewise, can soon land his own third. There we go. Is being laid on location. And Replicant is not too far behind him. Oh boy. Meanwhile, BC's... Replicant is getting into battlecruiser production. BCs are on the way. Let's go. They're coming. Auto charge harass here into the mineral line. Not bad. A couple of SCVs are falling. Even trying to force some friendly fire. Yeah, just a mass turret line here. 7 SCV kills. Oh my god, up to 11. I feel like the tanks killed a lot of workers themselves, but 16. Oh my god, landed Viking harass into Nickrat. He's popping off. He's popping off, catches a tank, gets 17 workers. So we have those Vikings in the main, and he finds another tank as well. And Nickrat, he's popping off. He's pulling Replicant apart. 27 SCV kills. A tank does siege, is within range. Auto charge are thrown down once again. Oh my god. Insane trades here from Nickrat. And does he end the game here and now? He's so close. He's so close to breaking the back of Replicant. Vikings were cleaned up. BC has arrived. The tank does protect the mineral line at least, but what about the depots? What are the depots? The eBay. Tanks, they siege up behind the mineral line. Tank has arrived. Where's the anti-air? Sorry, I say tank. The BC has arrived. Where's the anti-air? As with the help of this BC, this will be defended. Yeah, the medevacs, they evacuate. These tanks are forfeits. And they will get one more depot before they get cleaned up. Back at home, Nickrat, he responds with a second starport. Getting into mass Viking production. Still heavy marine can as well. Thankfully, 1-1 is almost done. And Replicant, because he just lost 46 workers, he doesn't have the economy for BC production. Like, he has the production here set up, but he can't afford too much to actually make out of this. So much of this production just left idle because Replicant is broke. Replicant, he is broke. Drop into the main. BC forces teleport back home. SCVs can be targeted down. He gets 3. Gets 4. 4 SCV kills. Main army pushing forward. He's got 3 Ravens. Does have Disable. Does he commit in? Disables the tank. Vikings going ham. As Cyclone goes down. You get the mass repair here on the BC. And Nick Wreck, he double expands. He gets a 4th base and a 5th as well. Will be double expanding. Still making 4 Vikings at a time. Replicant, he's going to try to break out. But here come the auto turrets. Yeah, better trade for Nick Rat. He breaks through, was at 4, almost 5 tanks. Drop into the main, more SCVs going down. Replicant is being pulled apart. He survives, but still his economy is not what it needs to be. Nick Rat, he just drops into the natural as well. Just killing more workers, denying more mining time. Taking up depots. Nothing major. Just a couple of depots. Viking count is getting higher into Liberators as well. I mean, that's the power of air control in TVT, is Mass Viking Lib. And what is the answer to that? What, BC? Against this amount of Vikings? That I'm not so sure about. He's moving out. He's moving out with that double drop. How many Vikings? 8. 8 Vikings against 2 BCs. Actually, my apologies. Soon to be 3. Soon to be... Oh, never mind. He does cancel. Getting into his own Viking production. Double drop does threaten the natural. There is a battle cruiser ready. You have a BC on one end, a BC on the other. And there isn't much at home to defend, I'll be honest. Turrets are just not finishing up, at least on the right-hand side. That will help. Liberation has arrived. One Liberator doesn't go down. Gets a tank. BC runs into turrets. The turrets, they can hold their own for a time, but here at the natural base, SCVs are going down. Instead, Nick Wreck, he commits. Does force the recall. BC does teleport back home. Goes down. GG gets called. There's just not enough to defend. And Nick Wreck, he will tie things up 1-1. He fights back against Replicant. GG. GG, well played. And with that, round 4 is going to wrap up. And now we can get ready for our next series. Should I though? Now I'm concerned. I'll be honest, I haven't casted Replicant in a long time, and after seeing that game, I'm curious. Is he gonna play Mech against Young Jakob? Do I want to stumble my way into like a ZBT old Jakob versus Mech? Is that what I want with my life? Is that I think so. I think you know what? We'll do it. We'll do it. Because if we don't, who will? Oh no. We'll step into the ring. Give us the 30-minute game. The 30-minute game 1, I should emphasize. I should emphasize. GG, well played. Shout out to Nick Rector, of course. Again, he was successful when it came to pulling apart his opponent and wreaking havoc. He was able to break the meching player before they could really stabilize on 3 bases. We saw the tri-pronged attack. We saw the Viking drop into the main. We saw the drop into the natural. We saw the main army pushing in between the bases. It was very impressive that Nick Rector was able to pop off the way that he did and pull Replicant apart. Very, very nicely done. We missed out on game 1. I don't really know how Replicant was able to find himself in that position, how he was able to take the first game. It was a longer game 1 as well, but maybe Nick Rat just needed a little bit of time to acclimate to his opponent to figure out what exactly was going on. And now we're getting ready for the final rounds. And again, I don't think there's a bad series here, which is why I have a hard time really embracing it. But up next, we have round 5. Young Yakov versus Replicant, UD Soldier versus Nickrat, and Milky Cow versus GG Machine. What I will say is that Young Yakov versus Replicant has a little bit less on the line, just because they're both at the top of the group. So they're both, you know, the best players here of the group, and they're both secure in their position. The other matchups are more important when it comes to how to determine that third slot as well. So I'm a little bit torn. I do see a lot of value in casting Nickrat, UD Soldier, and Milky Cow versus GG Machine, but at the same time, I have yet to cast Replicant properly here, like in a full series. So like I feel like I should. I feel like I should. Maybe I want to endure the pain. Maybe. Oh no. Oh no. Let's go. As it looks like the matches are now beginning. Looks like the matches are starting up. Let's go. Here we go. As the Vitas are underway and they are getting ready for game 1. Has Milky Cow been super out of practice or something? Milky Cow is a very aggressive player. Like, in my mind, Milky Cow is just really cheesy. He's just really cheesy. He has some wild builds and wild play, and I do like casting Milky Cow because of that. He's just hyper aggressive. Yeah, I do rate Young Yakov higher than Milky Cow for sure. For sure. Here we go. Here we go. We are jumping into our fresh best of 2. Oh boy. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our red Zerg player representing himself. Again, he was once young, but now he is old. It is Yakov. Smooch. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player from land of Kazakhstan representing CSO Esports. It is Replicant. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Predictions. The predictions are open. Get your gamba going in the chat. As predictions are now open, you can place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. Ooh, as we do embrace this. And again, for those that are maybe unaware, this is an event organized, funded, and hosted by MindoVK. MindoVK, he has been casting more regularly as of late and has been organizing this monthly tournament, month after month after month. This is open to the CIS region. As you can imagine, we have had plenty of Ukrainian players in the past as well. Not this month, but in months past, they have been able to represent. Oh. Meanwhile, we do see already Replicant opening up with a 2-Rax. Okay, 2-Rax Reaper out of our Terran player. I'll be honest, it's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks, if not a couple of months, since I've actually seen 2-Rax Reaper. Oh, and it's not even 2-Rax Reaper. It is a 3-Rax Reaper. Let's go. Let's go, Matthew. Let's go. Also, just double checking, is Replicant on the team? He is. Oh, my apologies. CSO Esports will set that up. Of course, as we can see here. But yeah, it is going to be a 3-Rax Reaper build out of Replicants. Reapers are amassing as we speak. And Yakov back at home is currently in the dark. The Overlord will soon confirm at least the 2-Rax Reaper opener. This should tell Yakov to stay in gas, to prioritize link speed, and to build up his queen count and delay his third. As the Overlord pokes in, the Overlord does not go further into the main, so Yakov is going to be in the dark as to how committed. Oh, there we go. There we go. He does pivot back around into the main base, so Yakov will confirm. We'll confirm what's going on. Reapers have arrived. The Lings are keeping up. It's keeping up here, dancing with the army, dancing with the Lings. As Replicant, he rotates over into the main. Queen is keeping up. And so far, no major losses. Yakov still goes for the third bold move. I don't really see him holding on to this. Reapers are amassing, and the goal is to at least force a cancel on the third. To at least force that cancel. Reapers, they go back into the main. They threaten the queens. Alas, the third base, it's actually getting quite a lot of progression here. Replicant, he does divert here towards the queens instead, which means the hatchery is going to finish. The hatchery will complete. Yakov, he's getting away with a lot here. Gets away with the hatchery, kills one of the Reapers already. The queens are holding their own, and Link speed is about to kick in. Link speed is about to kick in. Lings, they're getting in position. There's Link speed. One Reaper gets surrounded. And there's no way out of this. There is no way out. Oof. Reapers are being chased down. And this is a brutal start for Replicant. He needed to gain more value. He needed to trade better here. As he was able to get one drone, 10 Lings. That's all that really was gained for the Terran. Behind this, he's transitioning into a bio push, into a factory, into stim. But now Yakov is free to drone up, and he has map control. He now has map control. He can move out, he can threaten the bases. Thankfully, because of the spawn location of Replicant, he is able to preserve those add-ons. Does have a stim on the way. +1 as well. This looks like a variation of the Cure build. This looks like a 2-base all-in. As Replicant, he is just stuck at home, and young Yakov is free to drone. He's free to just drone up, saturate his third base, get a fourth as well, build up. Well, the Lings, do they get the depot? I don't think they... Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, he gets it. Whew. Barely does kill the depot. Did cost him a lot of Lings to do so, but does bring it down in the end. Behind this, Baliness is on the way. Yakov saturating his bases, getting into his own lair. Not rushing into Evo chambers or upgrades, just taking it slow, taking it at a bit of a steadier pace here. Does want to get caught out. Don't blame him. Do not blame him here. Here we go. Replicant is still being active. Now moving up with Stim. Combat shields are still not quite done, and there are no medevacs to support this army, so this is a risky maneuver here by Replicant, as these Marines are on their own. They are on their own. It's a one-way trip. Marines are trying to keep up. Overlord goes down. Clutch transfuse. Lings are coming in, but they don't quite engage yet. Stim, the first one is running out. Replicant gets the hell out of here. Races back home, and does escape. What did he get? He was able to pick off one Overlord and I believe a Queen as well. Just an Overlord. Taking an Overlord. Yakov coming in for the surround. There's another stim, but the army's overstimmed. Oof. A brutal trade here for Replicant. Does have a better trade towards the end though. Yeah, Yakov he overextends. Very nice target firing. A lot of Banelings go down. And Replicant holds. Replicant, he does hold. Initially, it wasn't a bad trade with the Lings, but for the Banelings to also waddle in and not a single connection, that was brutal. That was brutal for Yakov. Which means Replicant, he's still in this. Down in workers, but he does have a lot of potential with this bio army. Jumping outside the fourth. Doesn't quite commit. Baneling speed just now finishing. Evo chambers are done. Upgrades are on the way. And we can see Yakov taking up into Hydras. Lingbane Hydra. Also, again, I'm quite satisfied here that we're not getting into mech after what happened against Nickrat. I was concerned. I was Are we gonna be here all night? All morning even? It is what? Almost 6 a.m. in the morning. I was concerned, but no. It's gonna be fire. Let's go. I appreciate it. Replicant moving forward. Likewise, Young Yakov setting up behind the army. He's stimming in. He's able to stim forward. Picks off a good amount of tumors. And Yakov, he's just waiting for his moment to pounce. Or even counterattack. But the surround is more likely. Yakov yet to pull the trigger. Still waiting. 30 more Lings on the way. Liberators towards the left-hand side. And there we go. He does pull the trigger. He collapses in. Takes down the tanks. Takes down the Marines. Yeah, the Banelings, they crush the army. Oh my god. Meanwhile, here at the natural base, Liberators, hey, they do well for themselves. They get, I want to say, like 4 or 5 drone kills. Rotating over to the main. As the Queens were otherwise preoccupied, and they do kill one of their own. Oh, oh my god, what's happening here? Oh, how did they get stuck? What's going on? I think they killed one of their own just so they can break out, but they're still stuck. Oh, there we go. There we go. Jesus. As Queens, they make it out. Yakov getting ready for a run by. Massive tank volleys going off. And Yakov, he does commit, but there are reinforcements back at home. Young Yakov, he can't do much here. He turns back around. Run by was unsuccessful. The base is gonna fall. They pick off here 4 replicants. Tank is unsieged. Lings, they come in from behind. They barely save the hatchery. Yeah, 2, 3 tanks gonna be going down. Massive tank volleys here on the Lings. A lot of splash damage. But Yakov, he holds. He barely does hold on. He's on a 3-base economy. Soon to be taking his gases. Getting to his Hydra upgrades as well. Into Lingbane Hydra. He's getting there. You know, Replicant is so hyper committed here with his drop play. 4th CC on the way. That's what we're waiting for. Waiting for the signs of a later game state. He's gonna stim in. Does stim in, does target down some of those Hydras. Very nicely done. Gets 3 Hydras. Picks up, gets the hell out of there. Drops away. Likewise, Replicant going for a split push. He's got a double drop towards the left, double drop towards the right. Is being active. Yakov, he's able to respond somewhat quickly here with at least some Lings. Does save his mineral line, but this is not the best trade for Yakov. Likewise, this hatchery is still quite low. Replicant stims in. Does stim in. He wants to base. He gets it. Oh my god. Does get the hatchery for the cost of a full Medivac, so it was not the best of trades, but, I mean, still kills the base itself. Knocking Yakov down to 4 bases. Another Medivac falls. Yakov, though, is still in a solid economy. Ducklings is mining. If his engagement's on the way, that's going to be for the Hive Tech. That should be for eventually Lingbane Hydra into Viper, into either Ultras or Lurker Tech. One or the other. Both players still being active. As Lings, they flood in. They get into the natural. They get another tank. Meanwhile, double drop does hit the 5th base, also at the 4th base at the same time. They have 5th base. Getting the Queen, trading out with the Lings. I just really care a game state here. As Young Yakov trying to keep up. Meanwhile, the Banelings, they morph in. Up! Up! Where are they going? Where are they going? Come back! There was potential! The Banelings! No, they get the hell out of here. They're like, yo, what's going on? Why are we in the Terran base? May, they could have annihilated that mineral line. There was no reaction. Smudge. Bailings, what's going on? They're like, we were born to live. We don't want to die. We don't want to detonate. No. They collapse on the tanks. The Bailings go down. And I mean, at least they trade well. As the tanks are cleaned up, drop here into the natural. Last Yakov, he keeps up, he shuts it down. Doesn't lose many workers. Tank count gets reset. And Replicant, he has been a little bit wasteful here with these drops, especially in these later stages of the game. Not like this. Spinerics to get the hell out of there. Yakov, he's almost maxed. Yo, those Bailings though. That's gonna live rent free for the rest of this cast. The potential Bailings. It was crazy to morph them in the face of Replicant. For them to be unscattered and then for Yakov to just leave and just walk away. What a Chad move. I could have killed you. I chose not to. I have shown mercy. No. I think the chat just caught up. God damn it. See, they just politely left. They did. They just left. They pardoned me. Excuse me, sorry. Didn't know I was here. As Yakov, he's maxed out. I mean, the drop play has been, it's been quite effective at times, I should say, for Replicants, but now the tanks are exposed. Tanks are going to be going down to the Lings. Drop play continues. Hey, getting some value, finally. Queen goes down. Drones as well are falling. And Yakov, he's had it up. He's not turning around. Not anymore. He commits. Blinding clouds get thrown down. Yoinks here for the tanks. Bailings, they bust into the mineral line. Yakov trying to force the issues, trying to break his opponent, does get the final tank, and now can focus on the reinforcements. But mainly purely a Hydra army, not the best army to work with here. But here come the Ling reinforcements. There we go. He gets into the final tanks. GG gets called. And Yakov takes game number 1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Young Yakov does take the first game. A very chaotic game is what I will say. There were some ups, there were some downs, there were some good moments for Replicant, there were some otherwise rough moments for him as well. Whew, very chaotic game, but regardless, Young Yakov does take a lead, and now we are getting ready for game number 2. Here we go. It was a warning to Replicant. It was. God. Aye. As looks like we're getting some updates here. It looks like GG Machine went 1-1 versus Milky Cow, and I believe Nick Rack is still mid-series against UD Soldier. Here we go. Oh, actually, they just finished. I can let you know. I mean, there is a bit of a delay on stream, but it looks like Nick Rat and UD Soldier, they just wrapped up. I don't know the outcome of that series, but I do know that because all the casters just jumped in. All the casters, they all did just file in to this final game of this final lobby of this final series of the night of the Fire Cup Group B. Oh boy. And we'll catch up on the rest of the results after this series, as spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone, we have the red Zerg player. Again, at one point he was young, and now he is old. It is Yakov. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player from Atlanta, Kazakhstan, representing CSO Esports. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Replicant. The Bailings were supposed to be polite. just those 3 Bailings. Just the 3. Ah, no. Not like this. As this time, Replicant, he's setting up on the high ground. As a reminder, it was a while ago, but in game 1, Replicant, he went for a 2-Rax Reaper opener. He went 3-Rax Reaper. 2 Raxes on the low ground, 1 Rax on the high ground. This time, CC first. Oh my god. CC first out of Replicant. This time, we have the polar opposite. Game 1, Hyper Aggression with 3-Rax Reaper. Game 2, CC first. So Replicant, he is cutting corners, and he is being greedy. Now, I am a little bit concerned that this greed might lead into a second factory and into mech. I'm a little bit concerned, but we'll see. We'll see if Replicant is one to embrace mech against Zerg or only against his own kind. He might only do it against Terran. And maybe Protoss. It's possible. Copium. We'll see. No. As the SCV moves out, going for a scout across the map. Young Yakov, standard opener, hatch gas pool. Hatch gas pool out of Young Yakov. Will soon be setting up for a third. As Replicant, he does confirm. Does confirm the creep. It does confirm the timing of the hatchery. Is where there's no crazy pool for shenanigans. And we can see here even Replicant going for Marine first. Again, because the Rax is so delayed anyway, it's just going to be CC first into Marine, into, I would imagine, Reactor, into an add-on swap. Yep, there it is, Reactor into add-on swap. So Replicant's going to be defending with the bare minimum with 1 Marine. If this led into a Roach push, if there was a Roach rush from Young Yakov, then Replicant would be in trouble. He'd be in a lot of trouble here. As the Overlord does confirm the CC's already done. Dragging the Marine out into the open. Lings, they have arrived. They're going for the Marine! Oh, the Marine under fire, and the Marine is going to go down. Massive pick off. Marine falls. SCVs are exposed. There's nothing to defend. There's literally nothing here. Oh no, the wall does get up, thankfully. Lings, they do go for 1 SCV in the low ground at least. They deny any kind of mining time. They get a full scout of the main. Oh, and Replicant. I was curious. I was like, where's the starport? It's there. It's across the map. Proxy starport by Replicant. Now, this should be for a proxy liberator. I would imagine like Hellions harassing one end and then liberator into the other. I would imagine this could technically be also proxy BC. Could be starport into a fusion core into BC production, but I'm leaning towards liberator. We'll see. As Hellions are amassing. Technically, this could be a proxy medevac, and it could be like a Hellion drop, but there it is. Liberator is on the way. As Yakov is still being active, he does flood across the map. What is it to defend? The Hellions are still on the way. Oh, they're still in production. There we go. They do pop out in time. SCVs are going to be going down there. That's 2. That's going to be 3, 4 SCV kills. Does he get 5? Nah, 3. 3 SCVs in the main. More SCVs here on the low ground. Oh my god, this is becoming far too much. This is becoming critical damage. I'm afraid to look, but in total, it's been 9 SCV kills. Does he get 10? Ah, not quite. Oh, he does. 10 SCVs. 10 workers go down. And this Liberator has a little work to do. Liberator is diving into the main. How many queens are there to defend? No creep in any of the bases. It is going to be only 3? Ooh, only 3 queens. Soon to be 6. Okay, there we go. 2 queens on the main. Just in time. No spores in position. The Liberator does siege. And drones are going down. 1, 2, 3 workers. Late reaction there by Yakov. Queens, they're trying to get within range. Hellions, they rock up here on the right-hand side. They're going for the 3rd. Oh. And they do bypass the Queens. They're making their way into the mineral line. Lings are trying to keep up. Hellions, they don't quite commit. Oh. Queen taking a lot of damage. Boys being pulled away. Liberator goes down. Yakov defends. And Yakov still maintains a 10-worker lead. And Yakov, he's not joining, he's making roaches. Oh. Cloak is being denied. Hellions, they do get 2 drone kills at the 3rd. Meanwhile, it is mech. Yep. CC first into mech. We've seen this before. So Replicant is looking to mech it up. Looking to make it happen. Make it rain. I don't whatever. Whatever Terran players say. But before that, we do see that Young Yakov is moving out with a Ling Ravager push. He has cut workers at 44. That is 2 base saturation. And is there much to defend back at home? I mean, there won't be any Banshees. Banshee is still on the way. No tank production either. It is only Hellion Cyclone. No tanks whatsoever. Replicant is exposed. And here come the Ravagers to knock down the front door and to flood in. Yeah, the gates are open. There are some Hellbats, though. There are some Hellbats to defend. Lings, they don't quite commit. Oh, God. Yeah, the first Hellbat goes down, followed by the second. Lings, they have free reign. They get a surround here on the Cyclones. GG gets called before he can get into his mech, and Young Yakov will take the series 2-0. Will advance on in first place out of Group B. GG. GG, well played. A very chaotic series is what I will say. Very chaotic between Young Yakov and Replicant, but alas, he does take it in the end. Does take the 2-0. Congratulations. And with that, we have some catching up to do. What is the group looking like? Who has made it out and who has not? Let us calculate. Let us find out those final results. Let's go. Let us go. As we switch our scene over. There we go. We have our group. We have our setup here. From the top, we have Young Yakov. I believe this is all updated. About to be. But Young Yakov, he is at the top of the group, at the top of the standings, with a perfect score line. Not a single loss. There were some close games, though. There definitely were some very close games, especially Game 1 versus Nickrat. If you missed out on the first series, if you missed out on the start of the broadcast, Nickrat versus Young Yakov was insane. It was crazy. It was a nail-biter of a series. I do recommend it. Scrolling down, we have Replicant. Out of left field, I do rate some of these other players quite highly here, but Replicant played very well. We were able to catch the tail end of his matches, of course. He does finish off with a 6-4 score line. Actually, let's just... Regardless, does finish as second place, and just underneath him we have Nickrat. Nickrat and Milky Cow came very close to each other here with their own respective score lines as well, but Nickrat does come out in third place. In my mind, I would have said Young Yakov and Nickrat as top 2, Replicant as number 2 instead is a surprise in my eyes, but very well played, very well done. Replicant does make it out. And with that, we have our top 6. We have our top... Oh, it's even seeded. It is even seeded here. We have our top 6, and this is going to be casted tomorrow in 20 hours time. So we're going to be live on this channel in 20 hours. We have Replicant versus Wayne in the quarterfinals, followed by Strange versus Nickrat. I believe these are going to be best of 3s. Let me just double check. Your round 1 matches best of 3, semis best of 5, finals best of 7. It's going to be a long cast. So we have some best of 3s into best of 5s into best of 7s. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. So that is going to be our setup here. That is going to be what we have. So Replicant versus Wayne. And we have Strange versus Nickrat into Art and Young Yakov. Art was the wild card. Again, I mentioned before, but we were shocked to have seen Art come out in first place of Group A. Art was looking very strong here in Group A. In the PvP and PvZ matchup, you could argue that he maybe struggled a little bit against Terran, that is, and as a result, you know, that may be a bit of his weak point, but he may not even face a Terran player. May not even face one. I do favor Wayne over Replicants, but I mean, I favored some of these other players against Replicant as well, and Replicant still took it, so definitely has it in him to call some upsets. Likewise, Strange versus Nickrat, that's going to be a hard one to call. I do think that Nickrat thrives in TvP. Nickrat is hyper aggressive and very successful in this matchup, but Strange is strange. Strange can be quite strange, so that's going to be a harder one to call. I do favor Wayne over Replicants, but Strange versus Nickrat could go either way. Regardless of which of these two advance on, I do favor Young Yakov. I do think that Young Yakov is going to be favored to make it into the grand finals. And here in the semis, in the upper semis, I have a hard time placing Wayne and Art, I'll be honest. They did face off earlier here, and if you guys want to have a look, Art he 2-0'd. Art he 2-0'd Wayne last night in the group stage. So, I mean, if he can pop off again, we could be seeing a PvZ finals between Art and Young Yakov. But we'll see. I might just be calling it too early. These are still going to be some close matches. And again, like, this could go either way. Like, especially Strange Nickrat. I feel like that could go either direction. And then who knows what happens in the best of 5. Who does know? Regardless, with that, we're going to be heading off for the time being. And again, we're going to be live, you can see here, in 20 hours. In 20 hours time, we're going to be live here on the CranKy Ducklings. This will be after Sparkling Tuna Cup. Sparkling Tuna Cup is going to be in 14 hours, I think. So in 14 hours time, we're going to be live on this channel once again with Sparkling Tuna Cup. You may be wondering, what is the Sparkling Tuna Cup? It's an open tournament. It is an open cup. We actually see some of these regulars and many others. We have players like Christiana, Björn, Nightmare, Zeon, Luna C, Hon Mono, Geralt, Jamek, Nikaract, Wayne, Young Yakov, Iba if he wakes up, Fiant if he wakes up. Okay, shaking my head. But yeah, sometimes even Bindle VK. So later on tonight in 14 hours, we're going to be live with the Sparkling Tuna Cup with a weekly open tournament. So do consider dropping by, do consider tuning in. If you want to help support us, you can do so via Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our open cups, and we have been getting a little bit more support on Patreon recently. So thank you so much for those supporters. Thank you so much for those patrons. And you can also be a part of that as well if you wish. Otherwise, shout out to Middle VK. I just did mention him how he does sometimes compete in our tournaments, but Middle VK, he is the sponsor and organizer and caster of the Fire Grow Cup number 4, or all the Fire Grow Cups actually. So he's very passionate about all the about StarCraft clearly, and he has been now giving back to the community, hosting these tournaments, providing for all these other players of the region. So much love to Middle VK. Likewise, a shout out to Hatsu. Hatsu was also adminning the event, making sure that the challenge was being updated, making sure that there was no issues, making sure that of course everyone was able to host their events, find all the players, and run the event without any issues. So much love here to Hatsu, and a shout out to all the competitors as well. Shout out to all those that made it through, and even those that did not, because we had some very entertaining matches. So shout out to those that did even fall, and hey, I'm sure they'll be here next time. Again, if I kind of glossed over it, but Fire Grow Cup is a monthly tournament. It is a monthly event. I don't know if maybe they'll be taking a break in Christmas for the holidays. It is possible that there might be a break during the holidays or not. We'll keep you guys posted. But if there is a Fire Grow Cup number 5, we will be there to cover it as well. We'll be there to cast it. We'll be there to bring you all the coverage we can. Otherwise, my throat is hurting a little bit, I'll be honest. We made it, Papi. We made it 4 casts in 24 hours. Let's go. We started off the morning yesterday morning. We started off with Fire Grow Cup Group A, into KSL, into Alima League, into Fire Grow Cup Group B. And is it time to sleep? No, I have to edit the Alima League VODs. I have to edit the VODs as quickly as possible. I'll do my best to render as many as I can, and I will try to get them on YouTube within the next 3 days. I do know that a lot of people cannot watch it live because it is on Chijik. It is on a Korean streaming platform. So if you enjoy Alima League, and if you want to tune in, do recommend checking out our YouTube. Alima League 229 and 230 are already on YouTube. 231 yet to be on YouTube. Again, I do have to render and edit all those VODs. We'll upload it as quickly as I can. The VOD is available on Chijik, so you shouldn't have any latency issues when watching the VOD because it's all there. So you can just watch the VOD there if you wish. Otherwise, on YouTube in a couple of days. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Again, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We are on all things CranKy Ducklings. Likewise, we are also live on Twitch and YouTube as well, so you can check it out. VODs are available on a daily basis on YouTube, so plenty of VODs, plenty of content is ready for you. I'm sure they'll be here next. So do check it out. I do believe that Wardy, he's going over the replays, the Alima League replays that we have since provided. So I believe he's going over them as we speak. Yeah, with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who's live? Who do we send everyone over to? Here we go. Here we go. But we'll find someone to raid and someone to send everyone over to. Who's live at the moment? Jason is live. Dave is live. Jason, Dave Testa. We'll find someone. We will find someone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Gonna be getting to work, and then I'll get some sleep, and then we'll be back with Sparkling Tuna Cup and with the playoffs and finals of Fire Grow Cup as well. See you guys tomorrow. or later tonight. Until then, hasta luego. Thanks for watching. We do appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time.